Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, yeah, inside. Hello. Bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Dawn of a new day, bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, yeah, inside. Good evening. I hope you're good. Happy Thursday. Hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. I see you, user 748. Thank you for joining. I hope we are good. Grace found me. Wow, Grace has found us. Happy Thursday to you. Good evening. Good day to you. I hope you are good. Happy Thursday to you. Please share this live as you're joining. Click down on your screen and send it to all your followers, all your friends. I plead. Let them be part of this talk today. Raquel Apparel, I see you. I hope you are good. Happy Thursday. The promise, the future, and life. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world. I see you, Kindness. Thank you so much for joining. User 378, you are welcome. I hope you are good. OKB, thank you for joining us today. I hope your week has been good. Happy Thursday. You are welcome. Just waiting for a few people to join us today. I'll try to share, so please help share. The promise, the future, and life. Craig Steele, good evening. It's been a while. T-Cho4, I don't know how to pronounce this name well. T-Cho4, thanks for joining. I hope you are good. Happy Thursday to you as well. An interesting topic today. Craig, I hope you are good. How's your week been? How has your day been? Your Thursday so far so good? I love it when it's Thursday because the weekend is just round the corner. Yeah, all work and no play. I don't want to be a dull person. Welcome to Insight. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, I am rejoicing and I'm glad in it. Happy Thursday once again. Welcome to Insight with FunmiRoyal today. Amazing day. I think some people may even be in Friday now. Who knows? Or some people are just saying good morning. As in Thursday morning. Whichever time you're in, wherever it is you're joining from, I wish you well. I hope you are good. So I'm going to be going into my talk shortly. Topic today is marriage a bed of roses? because we hear this all the time from God knows time immemorial. We always hear, is marriage a bed of roses, or marriage is a bed of roses, or marriage is not a bed of roses, all sorts. I wish we could actually conduct a research regarding this topic, and then we'll probably find out whether it's a bed of roses or not. But yeah, it doesn't stop us from rubbing minds together, talking about this topic today. It's very crucial, crucial indeed, because all over the world, like I always say here on Thursdays, people are getting married, people are getting divorced, people are getting separated due to so many, many, many reasons. Some we've been able to tackle in the last 1 year here on Inside. Some people probably are still shying away from talking about it. Holistic, I see you. Thanks for joining. I hope you are good. Thanks for joining us. Please click down on your screen and help me share to all your friends. Let them be part of this crucial talk today. Is marriage a bed of roses? Come, let's rub minds together so that new couples, contemplating going into marriage, or individuals thinking about going into marriage. Oh, I've heard these beautiful stories, I've heard these not too good stories, I've heard all that, and they just concluded themselves like, is it worth it? Or some may even conclude, maybe not now. No. With all this, I'm seeing people getting divorced left, right, and center. At the same time, like I say, people are getting married. You're just in the middle. You don't know what to think. You don't know what to make of marriage and all of that. Well, like I always say, grab your chair, sit close by, let us discuss these things. We can only but shy away from it for so long. But when it's something that is affecting marriages here and there, why not let's sit and dare ourselves to talk about it? Is marriage a bed of roses? I always say God is the creator of this marriage institution, and his plan is that husbands and wife will enjoy the marriage relationship. They will enjoy it, and eventually when they start having children, even enjoy it to the fullest. But like I say, when we don't see the goodness of marriage, when we're not experiencing the goodness of marriage, that means there's something we are not doing, something the husband is not doing, or something the wife is not doing, or something both parties are really not doing adequately, and is bringing about all sort of challenges, conflicts, in that marriage institution or that marriage relationship. Is training. It's taking a toll on them emotionally, psychologically, physically, and all the leads you can think of. Chair, I see you. Thanks for joining. But dare we talk about these things? Is marriage a bed of roses? That is God's intention. I can say that categorically. Whether it's our reality now, that's a different ball game altogether. So please help share this live as I go into my talk, just to try to expand this topic some more, give us diverse perspective into this topic for today, so that we can discuss some more. After my talk, I'm going to invite us into the box. Let us expand it some more. We can share our real life experiences or other people's experiences we know that can teach one or two people to learn more, to be more self-reflective, more self-aware of what they are into, or if they're in that marriage relationship already, to be intentional, wanting a change if need be. Lady B, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Please let us invite other people to be part of this live today. And as you're coming in, please keep tapping, help tap, so that others, will get attracted to this live as well. Abiodu, I see you. Thanks so much for joining. So I'm going to go into this talk today because of time. I've just waited for a couple of people, but it's all right. We'll carry on. And as you enter, please help me tap and share to your friends. So, is marriage a bed of roses? Like I say, a lot of us have heard this phrase over and over again. Some people have even lost meaning to it. But let us, come back to the basics today and try to break it down, try to understand why is this popular verse always used correlation to marriage relationship. So the phrase a bed of roses suggests ease, beauty, and comfort, A life free from struggle. Is marriage really free from struggles? Question to be answered later, I guess. So many people influenced by movies, fairy tale, or cultural expectations believe marriage should be just that, romantic, effortless, and consistently fulfilling. Milan, I see you. Thanks for joining. But is this really the case? That's food for thought question for thought, really. Let's explore this question with honesty, depth, and with some balance to it. Could it be true? Could partly be true? Could halfway be true? So let us look deep into it. So let's try to understand this metaphor, a bed of roses, because there has to be a reason why. It's one of the major phrase that you will hear people compare marriage to, or contradict it even in a way, because all ideas just come into my mind this evening. KD, I see you. Milan, thanks for joining. Uncle Sumbu, thanks for joining. Please help share this live to your friends. Let them be part of our talk. Tara, you are welcome. So a bed of roses isn't just beautiful. It's also full of thorns. Have you ever considered that? So roses symbolizes love and beauty, but the thorns represent the pain, the challenges, the realities that often accompany them. So in asking if marriage is a bed of roses, we must look at both the joy and the sacrifice. And this is the only way we can have a balanced marriage relationship. I see you, Mr. Level Up. You're welcome. Miss Tia, I see you. Thanks for joining. Elijah, I see you as well. Priska, how are you doing? I hope you're good. You are welcome. So, the beauty of marriage. Based on this phrase, the beauty, we look at, of course, the rose is a beautiful flower. A lot of people all over the world, they love roses, whether the red rose, the whitish one, or the creamish, all sort of different colors of roses. So let's say the beauty of marriage, quote and unquote, the roses. So the beauty of marriage is that companionship, really. Marriage provides a lifelong partner to share joys, to share sorrows, and daily experiences, really, because that's the essence of a husband and wife coming to live together, to share all of these lifelong experiences together, whether the good times, the bad times, all of it, really, the daily experiences of life. That is the beauty, when you talk about the rose. In this bed of roses, we're talking about, again, the beauty in marriage talks about the love and intimacy. You look at the emotional and the physical closeness that helps people feel secure in that relationship. It helps them feel wanted. This person loves you so much. They just want to be in your company day and night, and then the love and intimacy also bring about being understood in that marriage relationship. It's a beautiful thing when you and your spouse are speaking the same language, whether love language or general language, whichever one. It's really a beautiful thing, and it brings about intimacy as well, talking about the rose side of the marriage relationship. Again, you look at the support system. A healthy marriage offers strength in difficult times, celebrating successes and enduring losses together. So it's not like your spouse is only there when things are rosy for you, and when things are not too rosy, they draw back, or they hold back from sharing that not too many rosy period with you. Alfred Williams, I see you. Thanks for joining. So the beauty in marriage brings about support system. You have this person, even if the whole world turns their back on you, your spouse really is supposed to be your number one support for all that you're doing, for all that you're planning to do, and things like that. So it's really a beautiful thing when you feel you're in this alone and somebody just comes and do this party on the back and say, for me, you know what, you're not alone. It feels beautiful. It's a good thing to experience. So roses in marriage. So another one you can look at is purpose and growth. when you talk in terms of this rose, in terms of marriage, the beauty in marriage, purpose and growth. Marriage often matures individuals, teaching them patience, selflessness, and emotional intelligence. Because once upon a time you were a bachelor, once upon a time you were a spinster, all you have to think about is yourself, maybe your extended family, your siblings, and things like that. But now you're in a marriage. You have taken this man to be the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. You've taken this woman to be the person you want to spend. It's a beautiful thing when people fall in love. And of course, it brings about a kind of purpose. You find out that purposes become one purpose in that marriage relationship, and it brings about a lot of growth. As a bachelor, maybe you're not a very patient person. Now there's this beautiful damsel all to yourself, and your impatience will have to just find a back burner to stay. You find out that you have to be tolerant of them, you have to listen more attentively to them, because they matter most in your life at the moment. Whilst you're in that marriage relationship, you're selfless. As you're thinking of yourself, once upon a time only about yourself, now you're thinking about your spouse as well. So it teaches a lot of things. It brings about growth, and that's the beauty part of being in a marriage relationship. When you're talking about that rosy bit, the roses side of the marriage, again, beauty to marriage, it talks about family and legacy. Charles, I see you. Derek, Briel, I see you. Wendy, you are welcome. So you talk about family and legacy. It provides a stable, well, supposedly is meant to provide a stable environment for raising children and creating a legacy of values and traditions. A lot of us grew up with our parents, and there's certain traditions, maybe a yearly thing, an occasional thing, it's a tradition, values that you grew up in, and now you're grown up and you decide to fall in love with whoever it is, and you're bringing them into your life. They're also bringing you into their lives, and of course they have their own values and traditions from where they're coming from, and now they're bringing their values and traditions, you're bringing your values and tradition, and merging that together. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to happen, really. The more the values are, the better for everyone, really. So it builds family, it builds legacy, and then when you come together, you form your own values and traditions, and also pass this on to your own children, who in return will pass it on to their own children. So it's beautiful when this is experienced in a marriage relationship. However, I love to say this, however, let us look at the challenges of marriage, which is the thorn that is not in this phrase we hear so often. The thorn. So if you look at marriage being a bed of roses, we all know roses come with thorns. So we cannot ignore that thorn. It means something as well. It signifies something, which we're going to break down today and talk some more about it. And hopefully you get more perspective into how marriage works and things like that. So let us look at the challenges of marriage in terms of the thorns, not the roses, the thorn that comes with the roses. First is conflict. Conflict's number one challenge, but so many, a lot was kind of contending with this number one, but I had to put one eventually. So conflict, that is disagreement, which is inevitable. You cannot escape it. Sometimes I'll hear couples, they say, oh, we've been married for 20 years, we've never argued, or we've never. It's a lie. You and I know that is just impossible. You may not raise your voice, but you do argue. That's all I will say. So conflict is number one challenge a couple will face in a marriage relationship. Disagreements are inevitable, like I said. It could be about finances, it could be how to bring up your children, it could be your in-laws, it could even be your career, or even small daily decisions. You just have conflicts here and there, and that's why you have to be like each other's friend to start with, so you can talk about the big things, the small things, the not so big things, the not so small things. Talk about everything and anything, especially when there is a conflict, because if care is not taken, conflict is one of the things that kind of pull couple apart. And then you find out that, oh, I want to go my separate way, you want to go your separate way, and all of that. Lamaka, I see you. Miss B, you're welcome. So conflict, we need to be careful. It's like a thorn in that bed of roses in a marriage relationship. Another one that I always say, mention here on Insight, is the communication gaps. Misunderstandings can lead to frustration. Trust me, it can lead to grievous frustration, emotional distance, or even resentment if things are not addressed. If couples are not hearing each other, or they're not listening actively to one another to resolving whatever it is, or they're not just even talking generally, they're living life, the busyness of life, getting busy with the children, but the two of them, they're not really communicating, they're not really, on talking terms, trying to find out how to help each other, support one another, understand one another, and things like that. So that could be a kind of thorn if it's not in the marriage. Communication, effective communication. I see you, James Bowers. Thanks for joining. Then again, unrealistic expectations. This can be a challenge. That thorn in that marriage. Many couples struggle because they accept constant romance or perfection. They're expecting that all the time. There has to be romance, or otherwise this and that. This has to be this way, it has to be perfect like that. Well, you and I, we know we're not perfect. Rose, thanks for joining. Is marriage a bed of roses? Maybe you're gonna give us some of that rose today so that some of us will take it home. I see you, Skippo. You are welcome. So unrealistic expectation could be a thorn in that marriage. Couples, struggling because they're finding it hard to accept one another where they're at, or try to, make your spouse to be perfect, to be certain ways, especially some people who have been in one relationship, broken up, been in several relationships before they eventually end up with their husbands and their wives. Tendency is sometimes they want to compare their husbands, their wives with their exes and things like that. You're being unrealistic because your spouse right now is not the person you once dated. They are a different individual themselves. So if you don't acknowledge them for who they are, you're going to be having issues in that relationship. Okay? Don't just be the one to always expect things to be perfect, constant romance all the time. Even when you're having a bit of conflict, don't deny me this conjugal rights, this and that. You don't even care whether the other party is happy or not, and things like that. So you have to be mindful. Okay, otherwise it's tend to make things more complicated. Another thorn we can look at, challenges, is the personal growth differences. This often happen a lot of times, and I've heard cases upon cases where a spouse, one of them will say, I've grown over the years, and they're still behaving like a child, or they're still behaving like a boy. They're not man enough. You hear that? It's like this, she's behaving like a girl. You're behaving like not even a lady, say like a girl or a female child. We use such words where our spouses are concerned, maybe because we're not understanding each other at that time, or we're not seeing eye to eye on certain issues. So as individuals evolve, they may grow at different paces or in different direction. Hence, communication is key. Joy, I see you. It's amazing how this can easily happen. Whether husband is older than the wife or wife is old, it doesn't even matter. But you just find out that you've been in this relationship, in this marriage relationship for 10 years, 20 years. You honestly cannot be the same person that got married 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Everybody cannot evolve, everybody grows, everybody develop. It might be somewhat at the same pace, and most times really it's at different pace. And how do you catch up? You don't allow such gaps to affect your relationship. Is when you talk about things, your observations, you don't keep quiet about it. You share with your spouse, talk more about it. Be intentional about the things you do with one another. Even if you feel this partner is not at my pace right now, you learn understanding. You will have to learn patience with them, Because I mean, once upon a time, who knew if the things were the other way round? So we learn to be patient with our spouse, especially where our personal growth and you see differences is concerned. Be patient with your spouse. Talk things through with them rather than create conflicts or issues or challenges that are not really needed. Again, another thing you can look at is the external pressures. This one is crucial. A lot of marriages are breaking up because of external pressures. Financial issues can be an external pressure. Societal expectations, maybe where you got married or the culture you marry into. Sometimes it could be health problems. It's another external pressure that can break up a husband and wife. There's so many. Work stress can strain even the strongest union. Imagine the wife is working 9 to 5 and the husband is working 5 to 9 or something like that. And you find out that most times they sleep apart for years and years. And by the grace of God, they even manage to bring in children into that lifestyle. Work can strain a marriage relationship when it's too much focused on more than your family, which should be really your priority. I'm not saying money is not good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't work hard and all of that, but there always has to be a balance. If not, it becomes pressure and it will strain your relationship with your spouse. So having heard this, we tend to go there. Let's go there. Is love enough? Because when you're talking about is marriage a bed of roses, roses signify love, joy, and all of those bits. So is love really enough? Love is a foundational but not sufficient on its own. How can I put this? Successful marriages require it. The one that is even struggling require love. Don't get me wrong. But is love really enough to sustain that marriage, to making it be a bed of roses? I mean, love is kind, love is patient, love is gentle, love is all of those beautiful things. But is love by itself enough to create this bed of roses? Let us look at it really. So each marriage, I mean, really, it requires a lot. I'm going to mention a few bits, and these are the foundational bedrock of any successful marriage, or at least the one that is aspiring to be a successful one. Commitment. Love without commitment, you won't see the bed of roses. Not even rose. Maybe raw. Not the sis on top of it, so to say. I'm being funny now. When there is no commitment, you say, oh, I love this person, oh, I love them, but you're not committed in that marriage, there will be issues. So the decision to stay and work through the hard times, commitment, it's not going to be bed of roses all the time. For those who are already in a marriage relationship, please, we like to keep it simple and real here and be honest, really. Do you want to tell me it's a bed of roses so far? Even if it's 1 year, even if it's 6 months, so far 6 months, newlyweds and all of that. Do you want to tell me that there has not been any thorny bits, that you've experienced in the last 6 months you've been married? And if you've been married for donkey years, imagine that you probably have a notebook. But regardless, love alone is not enough. That's what I'm trying to say here. It requires commitment. A13, holla at you. I hope you're good. Good evening to you. Welcome. I see you, Kiara. Welcome. Thank you, Kreti. I see you. I hope your day has been good. Thank you for the heart to me. Please let's tap so that we can invite others to this crucial topic. It's a topic we need to look at, because if marriages are breaking up in the thousands, then what is the problem? What is that thing we're not talking about that is breaking up relationships, marriage relationships? So let's talk about it. So I asked the question, is love enough? It requires commitment. It requires effort, ongoing nurturing of the relationship through effective communication, through care, through being intentional. These are things that would give us that bed of roses we're looking for. And mind you, if care is in there, if love is in there, if effort is in there, if commitment is in there and is only one-sided, there will be problem. We will not experience this bed of roses, often used. So, commitment is required as well as love. Effort is required. You have to put in the effort. You don't expect you say, okay, this person is my partner for life, and you're expecting the whole world to come and look after the person whilst they're living with you or whilst they're with you. And they too expecting others come and look after you whilst in that relationship. No. So you have to put in the effort. Even when it's not convenient, that is where the sacrificial love comes in. Because there are a lot of things you will do for your spouse. Most times you might not even feel like doing it. But you know that for peace to reign, for us to have that bed of roses, you just have to sacrificially do certain things. Put in the effort. And again, love is not enough. Forgiveness. How about forgiveness? Letting go of hurt. This is one of the major problems a marriage can go through. Sometimes they might not even divorce, but they're not enjoying that marriage either because of hurt. So letting go of hurts and choosing grace and forgiveness is very crucial. There is no doubt you're going to offend one another. Like I always say here, I've offended my husband severally. He's offended me severally, but we're still in it. Imagine the first year or second year or third year, he's offended me. I said, I'm not doing it again. I don't think we'll be celebrating 26 years of marriage. And over the years, a lot. Some have even forgotten. Some I can't even remember what. A lot has gone on. But we stay in it. We're still putting the effort. We're still committing to it. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow to offend him that he will have to forgive me. I don't know what he's going to do tomorrow to offend me that I'll have to forgive him. So these things comes with a package. If you're in denial of being hurt by your spouse, you better wake up your ideas, because these things are bound to happen. No matter how much they love you, one day, they might just do something that will really hurt you. BP, I see you. Patina, welcome. Bada, you are welcome. So let's have an open mind, but be gracious to one another. Choose grace and forgiveness over bitterness and hurt. It's hard. Sometimes it depends on what they've done to really hurt you. Sometimes it might take a while for you to overcome that pain, that hurt, and all of that. I get it. But eventually, you want to spend the rest of your life with this person. Eventually, you have to find a way to forgive them so you can move on, building that relationship. It's very crucial. Bed of roses. Is marriage really a bed of roses? Again, another thing you want to consider, is love enough? No. Shared values. A common direction and purpose to avoid pulling each other apart. Oh, where can I begin this story? So many stories just rolling through my head, but I'm mindful of the time. Some will say when we met, they were so ambitious, they had goals, they had things they want to achieve. Now they've only managed to just have 2 children, and it's like they're not just zealous about anything, they're just there doing nothing. And maybe that zealousness was what attracted your spouse to you. Your ambitious life was what kind of attracted them to you. And now you're less ambitious about anything, if anything at all. And they're looking at, where is this vibrant person I got married to? And it's like all the values you shared, it's like it's just faded away. So a common direction and purpose to avoid pulling apart. You have to sit and talk about things. If your spouse have lost their mojo, what can you do to help them recover their mojo? If I can put it that way. Or you can talk about these things. Sometimes, some people are even depressed. They don't know they're going through depression. Nothing seems to want to engage them anymore. They're not interested in anything because they're going through that depressive state, and they're in denial, or they don't even know, or whichever way. And it will now be on your spouse to recognize these things. Like, my husband is not as vibrant. What's going on? Maybe I'll have a talk with him and find out what's the matter. Anyway, can I help in any way, or things like that? Or it could just be that they just needed to offload to you or something. You never can tell. That's why communication is key. Again, is love enough? boundaries and respect. It has to be part of that package if you want to experience bed of roses in your marriage. So mutual respect for each other's individuality, each other's space, each other's emotional needs. You know, I've heard a million times why men need respect. I said, so is it women that need disrespect? Don't even get me started on some notions out there, wrong misconceptions about a husband and wife or man and woman and things like that. Oh, men need respect. Men need respect. And women need what exactly? Let's be mindful. As long as it's mutual, respect mutual, love is mutual, understanding all of these things, if it's mutual, then we can enjoy our marriage relationship. Thank you so much, A13, for tapping. Please let's share this live to our friends. Let them be part of this crucial talk today. I mean, sometimes when you hear some clients go on and on and on. I mean, who else would they come and talk about if not their spouse, and they're not getting what they want from them, or they feel their spouse is not respecting them enough, or is not even showing love enough. Once upon a time, they used to show love, care, and all of these things, but life has happened, or maybe they're older now, or whatever it is, and such care, such emotion has been withdrawn, and then the spouse is wondering, because these were the things that kind of bonded them, and without the presence of that, it's kind of straining that relationship. And if you don't talk about it, everybody just assuming everybody's okay. Assumptions are mostly negative, so it's better we hear, talk about things, don't assume, talk about it. That's why I always say ideals here on Insight. Let us talk about these things, these issues that marriages are contending with, that we shy away from talking about. It's not going to go away. The earlier we started talking about it, the better for us to enjoying that marriage relationship. So let's respect each other's boundaries in as much as we're husband and wife. If I need my space, please respect that. If you need your space, I will respect that. Otherwise, there will be conflict. That is not good for marriage, especially when we want it to be a bed of roses. So again, we look at the cultural and the spiritual perspective. In many cultures and faith, marriage is seen as a covenant, not just a contract or a romantic partnership. There's so many cultures in the world, but in it all, everybody wanting to get married, they want to do it in the presence of everyone they know, in the presence of the law, in the presence of their family, friends, loved ones. So it's not just a contract as such. Okay, when you go to registry, you have to sign here. Even if you go to church, at the end of it, you have to sign the certificate and things. It goes beyond that. It's a covenant, meaning I am taking this vow to spend the rest of my life with you, to take care of you, to nurture you. That's why I always say these things, they say easier said than done, because a lot of challenges of life will come and challenge you. You say you love your spouse, you will be challenged at some point in time. You say you truly understand your spouse, that understanding will be challenged at one point in time. And you will see whether you guys can stand, the test of time. Some people like, every time I say this, my spouse doesn't understand. Oh, I don't understand how else to speak with him. It was never like this before. But now, you find out that everybody has grown. Mindset is shifted. Growth has happened. Development, whichever way. And it's like, you're not just seeing eye to eye. How then can you still create this bed of roses? Talk to one another. Build what needs to be built. Cut down on what needs to be cut down. And that's why I'll say, when you want to enjoy that goodness of marriage, be committed. Put in the effort as well, because it's what you sow you will reap in return. If you're putting love into that home, into that marriage relationship, you will get love back in return. If you're putting bitterness all the time, you will just get bitterness back. No matter how much this person loves you, one day they will just give you back your own coin. So let's be mindful what we're putting in our relationship, in our marriage relationship. The Bible, for instance, describes marriage as a union that reflects God's relationship with his people. For those people of faith, believers out there, you know your Bible, you know what the Word of God says. God, trying to show his love, the way he loved his people, the same way he wants husband and wife to love each other to the point that they can actually die for one another. But I think that if I bring that as a topic, I don't think I will get anyone here to come and discuss with me, in fairness. Because someone like, I love you, but I can't die for you. You love me, I won't ask you to die for me, or Jesus already died for me, or blah, blah, blah. But this is the kind of love God, the creator of marriage institution, wants us to understand. He wants us to understand that his love is gracious. His love is sacrificial. His love is enduring, not just emotional highs. When you're high, you're high. When you're low, you're low. No. In the highs, in the lows, in the in-betweens, his love is real. His love is the same. He never compromises his love. His love is not conditional. Likewise, husband and wife, the love for one another should not be conditional. I will only love you as long as you're healthy. Do you know the the wedding vows? I take this person to be my lawful wedded husband, in richer, in poorer, for health and sickness and other. Now they've removed all the bad ones, so to say. They don't put poorer, they don't put in sickness, they just say in richness, in health, all of those things. And I'm like, are these people, are they trying to be real with themselves? Because whether you say it on that day or you don't say it, these things are bound to just happen. A lot of people go into marriage hoping that they will spend the rest of their lives with this person. And along the journey, along the way, sickness might just come to actually take one of the spouses away. And of course, my Bible says that's when the spouse is actually free to remarry. God helping them. Will these things happen? Yeah, all the time. Not all the time, but some of the time it will happen. How then do you want to deal with it? So if ill health comes or sickness comes, does that mean you're no longer in that marriage? So those are things we need to actually consider, because when you're saying stuff, do you actually understand what you are saying? It goes a long way. It goes a long way. And again, I'm going to be rounding up shortly because I want us to come and talk some more. Like I say, if I have all day to talk about this, I may not even cover all aspects, because I'll just be thinking about it in my own mindset, what I've experienced, what I know, and things like that from my own parents and all of that. So when we come together and share and discuss, we expand our knowledge. I want to learn from you as much as you may think you've learned one or two from me. Kudos to everyone. Because, when you rub minds with people, you're bound to have more knowledge, hopefully, anyways. So, food for thought. Is marriage a bed of roses? I'm going to be concluding now. Is marriage, I'm asking us again, is marriage a bed of roses? Yes, but with thorns. This is my own response. Yes, it's a bed of roses, but with thorns, which I'm not going to be in denial of. I can tell you 1,000,001 kind of thorns apart from the ones I've mentioned. It holds the beauty of companionship, marriage, love, shared life, but also requires effort, patience, and resilience. If God knew it was going to be perfect, yeah, he wouldn't tell us to be kind. He wouldn't tell us to be patient. He won't tell us to be resilient. He won't tell us all those things he's telling us to do. Meaning at some point you will not want to feel patient. At some point you don't even want to put in the effort, because we're humans and these are things we go through. It could be a challenge, it could be your health issue, it could be anything at all. You just don't, in fact, that spouse is like, sometimes they will be irritating you, kind of a thing. But these are phases you will go through in that relationship, and how we handle them really, really matters, and it goes a long way. Sometimes, in fact, I used to say to myself, I think I'm the most patient person ever. Something came to challenge that patience, and I'm like, Lord, help me. Why? Maybe I stop saying that, because no, this one is pulling that patience off of my skin. So be mindful. Resilience, you have to build it, because a time would come you feel like, is it even worth all this hassle? Why is it as you're overcoming one conflict, another challenge is surfacing? As you're overcoming one challenge, another issue is outstanding. It's like, would he ever stop? But I tell you, the moment you go through those challenges, issues, is meant to bond you some more, to making sure that you fight whatever it is together rather than fighting each other. I think a lot of times couples will always fight each other instead of fighting whatever it is. So we need to be careful to know what exactly we're fighting. Are we fighting each other, or are we fighting whatever that challenge is? Sometimes it could be an individual challenge in that marriage relationship, and your spouse needs to pull with you 100% to help you overcome whatever that challenge is. It's very crucial. But if your spouse is not a supportive type, you know you're going to struggle. Even the marriage will struggle at some point. It's not for a spouse to come and say, I told you so, or to come and be judgmental over you. No, that is the least time they need to do that. We need to pull together to support one another. Oh, for me, I know, but sometimes it's so hard. I just feel I'm alone in this marriage. Oh, No, we've heard it before. Communication. If you've tried communication, you know your spouse better than anybody. How else can you communicate with them in order for them to hear you? You might have to be creative. You might have to think deep. You might have to reflect. You might have to write notes. You may have to even text. You may have to send an email. Whatever would work. There is no cut and paste anything. There is no black and white. Sometimes you just have to find a middle ground in order to achieve a positive move with your spouse. So, patience, effort, commitment, resilience, understanding, tolerance, love. Like I said, it's not enough. Love, commitment, effort, all of those things go together to creating marriage as a bed of roses. So marriage isn't perfect. I'm not perfect. My husband is not perfect. But it can be beautifully worth it when both partners commit to nurturing it. Both, like I said, I mentioned earlier, if it's one-sided, there'll be issues. See, it's not balanced. It has to be like that. If one is like this, one is like that, or it's not balanced. So there will be chaos. Marriage is not perfect, but it can be beautifully worth it when both partners commit to nurturing it, facing challenges honestly, and growing together. Growing together is really crucial, because sometimes partners will grow apart, and it's because they have children in there. That those children are the glue, still gluing them together. Let those children live, or let them migrate or emigrate, or whichever one, and then you now see this couple looking at each other like strangers, and it'll be like, okay, let's assume their children are in their 30s and they've gone their ways or gone life or whatever, and they're now looking at each other. Sometimes they don't even remember how long they've been married, or when their marriage date is, or some things like that. And now there's no child to be forcing over. They've all left home. You're now left with this strange man. You're now left with this strange woman. Where do you begin from? But I tell you what, even at that time, emptiness, even at that time, you can rebuild. You just say to each other, let's start all over. Maybe over a handshake even, or a hug. Let's start all over. Because you guys have grown so much apart, you barely know anything about each other again. In fact, maybe one of these days I'll bring my, what is it called? This quiz game for husband and wife. And we're going to test us here. Even me, I'll test myself. Maybe I'll have to invite Hobby to come and let's do a quiz night on Inside or something. How well do you know your spouse? Because the truth is, when I got married, red was my favorite color. But as I'm speaking to you right now, you can see what I'm even wearing. My color is rainbow. And I know the world they've in a way bastardized that rainbow. I don't care. Me, I love my colors. If you look, I love my colors to be. God created rainbow after the rain came. You know the story, I don't want to go into that. But I love it. God created rainbow. It's beautiful color. As long as you know how to combine it so that you don't blind some people, so to say. So don't come and tell me that. So if my husband comes now, or Mr. Admissions now ask, Mr. Namesy, what is your wife's favorite color? He dares know not to say red, because that was once upon a time. That is part of my evolving in terms of color. You get me? So if a man comes down and say, my wife's color is red. When we got married. When you got married? How long ago? Say 26 years. Are you for real? And it's still red? I don't know where I was watching. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, it was yesterday or day before. They wanted to, in this program, they wanted to do like a couples night, Mr. and Mrs. They called it. So the owner of the venue now said, go and try it. If it works, then you can come back, and then we'll invite other people to come and be participants in the competition, so to say. And then these two couples decided they volunteer themselves to go, and they were asking questions. Yeah, they had to write the answers down. Couple A, they asked, what is your partner's favorite color? One wrote blue, the other one wrote, is it yellow or something? When they now finished, everybody had to write down the answer. So when they finished, they had to exchange. And then they asked, what was your favorite color? One said yellow, one said green. None of them got it right. They're like, how come? But I saw you looking at that orange something or yellow something. So I was just looking at that. My color is blue or something, you know. And they're wondering, a small, tiny information that is, they didn't get it right. How well do you know your spouse? Don't even get me started. I talked about touchy-feely. Do you know what your spouse's hand feel like? You know, there's some things we don't pay attention to, and paying attention to details, like we know, is very crucial, very important. It is well. Marriage can be beautifully worth it if we put in all the effort, if we put in growing together. I say busy. Busy life, busy wife, busy husband. You have a busy marriage. Busy doing what exactly? I don't understand. You know, that's why I said maybe you should go back to the basics. You know, challenges will come. Don't get me wrong. Some couple, that challenge, in fact, will bond them like tight, so tight that nothing can separate them. Well, my final thought for today is, don't expect a perfect marriage. Do not expect a perfect marriage. If I say expect a perfect marriage, even with God involved in it, I will be deceiving you. Do not expect a perfect marriage. Instead, work towards a mature, joyful, and enduring marriage. Marriage takes work. Hey, I wish I could speak many languages so that I would translate it in all of those languages for everyone listening to really understand what I'm trying to say. Marriage is not a perfect thing. Don't expect perfection in it. Otherwise, you'll be looking for trouble. Work towards it with maturity, with joy, and endure with one another. Because things would happen. I was sharing with us here some time ago. All of a sudden, I was just feeling irritated by everything. I didn't understand. And I called one or two girlfriends and like, pre-menopause this, pre-menopause that. I said, I've heard stories and stories, but because you're busy doing life, your mind is not just there, and the thing just hits you like that, and you're feeling funny. What on earth is going on? Don't be deceived by this face. So, what on earth is going on? I don't understand this. Some are recommending this herbal tea, herbal this and that. I said, no, I really want to understand what is happening with me first before I start diving into medication or whatever it is. I have enough on my plate at the moment. But it just takes time for me to understand what exactly is happening in my body. And talking about understanding, sharing that with my husband, and he was lost as much as I was lost. But I'm like, this is it. So those stories those women tell me. So I am entering into that phase now. So this, and God help him if he doesn't understand, I will be upset. He too be upset. What's wrong with you? Can't you just be? Why are you upset? Nobody's upsetting. It will create another chaos. So understanding, it goes a long way. So I'll repeat again. Don't expect a perfect marriage. Instead, work towards a mature, joyful, and enduring one, where the beauty of the roses will far outweigh the sting of the thorns. That is where I'll end my talk today. So my question, really simple, basic. Can marriage truly be a bed of roses? Can marriage truly be a bed of roses? Thank you guys for always listening. Thank you. The promise, the future, and life. Sandy Thomas, I see you. Lily, I see you. world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Marilyn Collins, I see you. So that is my 2 cents about this topic. Is marriage really a bed of roses? I'm not saying it's not a bed of roses, but don't forget the thorns, like I've said, that comes with it. Because if you're in denial that those roses are beautiful, smells nice, but if you're not careful, you put your hand where the thorns are, or you may not even see the thorn in the midst of the bunch of roses, so to say. But whichever way, we are not in denial. We know thorns do come with the roses, and we'll find the best way really to handle the thorns so that it does not kill out the roses. And like I said, it will take commitment, it will take effort. You have to be intentional, you have to be patient, you have to be resilient. A lot of things. Marriage is not for lily-livered people. Marriage is for a mature man, a mature woman, because it takes a lot emotionally, psychologically, physically, all the leads you can think of. You have to be ready for it. Otherwise, don't go and waste a man's life. Don't go and waste a woman's life. I've heard of cases where some people are in a courtship relationship for 7 years. I'm like, doing what exactly? 7 years courting one person. And at the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't end up in marriage. And then obviously they've done the deed husband and wife is meant to be doing and all. And at the end of 7 years of your life is gone. And then imagine, eventually they get into a marriage for however long they still decide to court. And now they're in that marriage, and all they're seeing in their spouse is that 7-year courtship that they broke off or that didn't work. And then you bring that into that bed of roses. That is a thorn being brought into the bed of roses. So it can come in various ways. It can happen in various ways. But as I said, let's talk about these things before it will actually, pull us apart. It's could be a deep talk, really, but at some point we have to sit and talk about it. So guys, send an invite. Let's bring us up into the box. Please come and share your own 2 cents so we can learn some more, so we can achieve in this in our marriages, no matter the challenges, no matter the conflicts we're going through. I believe strongly that if efforts are put in, from both parties, not just one person, efforts, commitment, communication, and all of those things are put in, we might just come out on the other side with a bed of roses. Who knows? So let us talk about it. I dare us to talk about it. Admissions, I hope you're not telling me you're busy. I know 8:13. Well, all the same, we want to have you in the box. Henry, I see you. Humble 4, I see you. Tanisha, you're welcome. Please send an invite. Let us talk about this topic some more, because couples are like, I'm not experiencing roses. I can't see any bed of roses, just thorns, thorns. I'm tired. Let's talk about it. Admissions, good evening. Happy Thursday to you. I hope you can speak where you are.
Yeah, evening, not right away. I'll be
Oh,
on. I'll be on.
okay. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. 8:13, good evening to you. Say hola. Mike, hola. Say hola. Let me look for your trouble today. 8:13, let me hear you. Yes? There are some topics that instantly you get people filling up your boxes. And there's some topics that, people they're there on the FI page. I can testify to that, but they don't want to come down here and talk about it. But like I say, we cannot keep shying away from this topic, because it's affecting marriages out there. It's affecting some marriages deeply than others, and some deeply affected ones are contemplating separation or contemplating the D word. They just want to go their separate ways because they've tried all these years. The spouse is not creating that atmosphere, and they want to talk about it. How can we create roses in this bed of marriage? And it's not just on the husband alone, it's not just on the wife alone. Some may say, oh, it's the men, they have to be romantic enough to their. Who says woman too cannot be romantic? You know, there's some things we've assigned to the man, we've assigned to the woman, and obviously they're not forthcoming, and that's why we're having some issues. But if we look at it that as long as this thing we want is being provided, whether from the man or from the woman, as long as we are providing it, maybe life in that marriage can just be better. Dodo, I see you. Grace, please, maybe you can come up today and share one or two with us. So, a bed of roses, is that marriage? Is marriage truly a bed of roses? That's the question. Is marriage truly a bed of roses? If you say it is, what about the thorns that comes with the roses? What do we do with that? Or is that just there? Challenges do not come into marriage that almost will separate husband and wife if care is not taken, or conflicts do not arise that would challenge your trust in one another, your faith in one another. It will challenge everything you guys stand for, your values, your principles in life. Things will come and challenge that. And if you're not strong enough, God helping you, that conflict or that challenge will not end that marriage. I mean, people divorce in their numbers for various reasons. Some reasons you even hear, you may laugh like, are you for real? You're telling me you're divorcing over this issue? Go and listen to so person, what they're going through in their marriage. I still don't know how they're surviving it. So we're all different individuals. My level of what is it called, resilience, might be different to your level of resilience. Kenny, I see you. Please come up, Kenny. Let us talk more about this topic. Is marriage a bed of roses? Let's talk more about it. And like I said, I might be wrong, I don't know, but at least I've put in one or two of my own personal experience in there to let you know that from my own perspective, it is a bed of roses, but it comes with thorns. Thorns that, if we start to writing a book now, I don't think we'll have enough papers to write those things on. But at the same time, of course, there's been beautiful moments. There's been, in fact, some moments I'll be like, wow, if this is it, marriage, was really worth it going into it. And at the same time, sometimes you look, if this is it, if I come back in my lifetime, I'll just go and be a nun, or I'll go and be a father or something. No, marriage, no. It depends on experiences people have had. So that make them either feel they can have a bed of roses in their marriages, or they can have thorns only in their marriages. And have you heard a case where parents will advise their children never to get married? That's another topic for another day. But all the same, is marriage a bed of roses? Thank you, Kenny. I see you for joining. Let's see who else is there. Otherwise, you know me, I can talk on and talk on. And hopefully somebody has heard or picked one thing that will benefit their marriage relationship, especially if that marriage at this moment is struggling with one issue or another. The secret is, sometimes it's not like you don't even trust your spouse or whatever, but it's just that there is no understanding. That alone can push the love aside so far away that you wonder, like, are you living with a stranger because they just can't understand you? Maybe what you see as an issue, they're not seeing it as an issue, and that feelings is not really balanced, because we're supposed to carry each other, support one another, and go through life together. Like I said, sometimes it's one spouse that is being challenged, and of course it will affect the other spouse. And sometimes it's both spouses together as husband and wife that are facing this particular challenge. So how they're going to deal with it really matters a lot, because if they don't know how to deal with it so that they still maintain their bed of roses, they bring thorns, and use the thorn on each other, we know that there's only so far that marriage will last. So, what is your take about it? Is marriage a bed of roses? Do you think marriage is a bed of roses? Mensa, I see you. Dodo, you are welcome. Okay. I know admissions, you say you want to listen for now, but you can see that it's just you and I and A13 in the box. So at some point, you will have to say something. Otherwise, I don't want it to appear that it's just me talking and talking because I can talk for hours. You know that. I just look for other perspective that, is coming to mind to talk about. So admissions, if you're free to speak, please feel free to unmute and just let's hear you. Like I said, I believe marriage is a bed of roses, but it comes with thorns that we have to deal with. Okay, marriage is a good thing. God created and He said it was good. It's a good thing. Robin Wilson, I see you. And the moment we're not enjoying all we're supposed to be enjoying in that relationship, you guys sit down, be honest with yourself. There's something you're not doing, there's something your spouse is not doing, and that is why you're not enjoying that marriage the way you ought to. That is why you're not seeing the bed of roses, that we're talking about. Are you gracious to your partner when they offend you? Will it take a whole village to come and beg you to forgive your spouse? Will it take a whole village? Are you even gracious to your spouse? Or it could be the other way around. I say your spouse. If you offend your spouse, hey, the last time you offended them, you thought the marriage was over. Because some people are like that, whether we want to talk about it or not. Ernestina, I see you. Thanks for joining. So you find out that no matter what, don't. In fact, it's better you don't offend my spouse because are you ready in admissions?
Yeah, I was just gonna. Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining. I
Yeah,
hope your day has been good.
yeah, wonderful day. Yeah,
God.
been a wonderful day. Yeah, and I'm just gonna toe your line. Yeah, because
Please.
you already said it in the earlier lecture. There, you see that marriage can be a bed of roses.
Mm,
You were quick in saying also that a lot will have to be done
mm,
to be able to make it a bed of roses.
yeah.
Otherwise, you end up experiencing the thorns in it.
Only, yeah.
It is a wonderful thing, but then as you go in and you carry on, there are challenges that will come.
Mm,
And you kept saying we have to endure, we have to persevere, we have to just know that yes, things will work out well. You
yeah.
have to be tolerant. You have to study each other as you carry on, get to know each other much better.
Mm,
And you find out that as things carry on evolving, you will now be seeing that no matter what comes in as a challenge, you're able to kind of surpass
yeah.
and you move ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have this true where I'm thinking somewhere along the line,
Mm,
go into marriage with some sort of positive
mind.
vibe,
Yeah.
have some sort of positive approach to what you're going into.
Well, I see you.
Because even God Almighty Himself, who ordained marriage,
Mm,
knew what it entails.
mm.
Hence, He placed on it an oath. You take a vow, holding that holy book,
The covenant,
a
yeah.
covenant
Mm-hmm.
that will make you to be committed, that will make you to
You're
take
welcome.
what you're going into seriously.
Mm,
You're calling His name. You have witnesses who will sign.
yeah.
You have all of these are brought in for you to know what you're going into, the
Mm,
challenges that are in.
yeah.
We also thank God in the sense that at the end of it all, when all the challenges come and all that, you still have to refer to Him.
Mm,
And before you know it, grace comes in
yeah.
and you're going. You're propelling each other. You're carrying on. Challenges are coming. You're turning back to Him for grace, for understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And as you carry on, we all said it that it will evolve and you start asking yourself, how did we get here? I think we are much, much better than the way we started.
Mm,
So much that even at some point, with hindsight, you'll be looking. We once had a challenge like this. Where is it? You see
mm,
that it has vanished. It's
yeah.
just nowhere.
Mm,
So let's have that positive approach as you go in there.
Sugar, I see you.
If you don't do it that way, if you go in with a negative perspective, it might just end up not being. In everything we do, we must be positive. We must be, yeah. You go in with some sort of melancholic idea and whatever. That's what it will turn out to be. And drawing inferences, most times, that's what I do. It makes me see, give me a clearer perspective and all that. I remember years back, I had this experience where I stayed. The marriage I saw around me were not necessarily very perfect.
Rosy.
Some of them were even discouraging. We had a situation where I've seen somebody who's reading about 3-4 times of going into marriages and coming out and all that. And I look at this person, I'm like, is this what it takes? Then I'm never going to ever talk of marriage and things like that. There were situations where you see husband and wife facing each other,
Yeah.
and they will say all sort of things. I'm not just saying physical insults. Yeah, people,
Hard.
third parties being drawn in and all that. All these words, when I think about them, they were really discouraging. But I don't think when it was time to start mine, I don't know, somewhere along the line, they were not just, they did not becloud my sense of choice and reasoning and all that.
Thank God
And I
for
went
that.
in. And that's how I think all of us, if you look around the immediate experience you're seeing in other marriages, you might be discouraged. But then that should not stop you from looking positively into the future, making a choice, counting on God to bring you the choice, at least prayerfully, if that's what you understand. And if it's even the other way, you might still be lucky that even when you don't necessarily pray, somebody will still come. And that's God in all of his control of the universe and all that. You might end up seeing the woman that came your way was a woman that has already been ordained for you. That's how it goes. So, particularly for the next generations who are coming behind us, we're not painting
A
a
good
picture
picture.
of a gloom or whatever. Neither are we telling you that go into it is the best, however. But nope. There's a note of caution somewhere along the line. And we are also
I'm
leaving
even
you by saying that,
I'm even more afraid for the generation after, because I've had one or two conversations and I've seen group conversations. I'm afraid.
oh,
I'm afraid. One
and
lady.
there are truly challenges, like you said. There
Ah.
are challenges, myriads of challenges that will come. Some of them from just nowhere, they will just come, and you've got to surmount them all. That's the only way that marriage will appear or will feel like a bed of roses. May we never experience the thorns in marriages.
Amen.
Some of them are devastating. Some of them would rock your life out of you and all that. That will not be our portion. In
Amen.
Jesus' mighty name. I'll rest for now. Let's see if my dear friend too will have something to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Lord will have to help us really, because there's a lot everybody's contending with in this present generation. Is it the economy, the economic situation of the whole world generally? In fact, I think since COVID, a lot of things in the world has just really changed. In as much of course, we're noticing some advancement, but you find out that there's just a lot in the economy that is affecting individuals, their work, their mental health, a whole lot of things, and people still trying to juggle work, marriage, parenting, studying, chasing career, and all of these things. It just becomes so much. So that's why I said sometimes, even in that marriage, a husband might be going through something, not necessarily the wife, but that is not the time to say, well, when you finish going through, let me know so that you don't know. We have to be there to nurture one another, to support one another. It could be hard, it could be tough. That's where the sacrificial love comes to play. Do you want to be in that state with your husband? Of course not, you don't want to be, but do you have a choice really? So there's a whole lot contending with marriage. I get it. I was trying to say there that this young lady said she's made, she has her businesses. How old was she? How old did she say she was? Maybe 30, 32 or 30 something. I can't remember. But she's got her businesses. She's really, really like well to do. And she said, I think she was being interviewed and she said, one of the challenges she's facing is that men can't stand a successful woman. They just feel intimidated. And that's why it seems like at that age she doesn't have a partner or a relationship. Said, oh, they of course they come, they toast her, they woo her and all of those things. But the moment they get in and they see her lifestyle, they see what she's into, see what she's all about, they kind of feel threatened, kind of. And a lot of them, in no time, they'll just end the relationship, or she will even be the one to end it because this person is trying to stop her from being herself or being who she is. And then she now said further that, if she gets to an age, which she has in her mind, she didn't say what age, and there is no guy forthcoming, she will just go to the sperm bank, get a donor, get pregnant, have a child. She's well to do. She can look after this child. This. I say, hey, is this what our Gen Z, Gen whatever they're thinking now? Because before once upon a time it was like you don't educate a girl child, and that was a struggle for whichever culture at the time. But these days you find out that even most girls are in school more than maybe some boys or whatever, so it's like those things that women were denied before, they have access to it now. It's left for them to pursue education or not, and now they're pursuing education. They are there in the economy, they're making waves in the economy. In fact, some women are even more successful than some men and things like that. And then men are like, this one is ready made, I don't want this kind of a woman. But how long are they going to be pushed aside? And now this is what these women are saying. If it gets to a stage, they don't find a partner, they just go and have children, and they can have as many as they want because they have the money, at least, to look after these children. And I'm like, is this God's plan for marriage? I don't think so. But then when their mind is made up, this is our Gen Z's, Gen whatever. Tony, I see you. Please come up. Let us discuss this about marriage. Is marriage bed of roses? I've said a lot of things, and Admissions too has admitted one or two things. Let me see what you wrote. There's even a school of thought that thinks the whole institution should be abolished or ignored. Wow. Wow. Marriage is one of the oldest institutions in the world. So how they want to achieve that, how they want to go about that, I do not know. Even as crazy as the dynamics could be, or how the world have turned it to be, there's certain things that is still, people divorce, remarry. I don't think I've seen a community as such that is enormous that one woman was marrying 10 husbands. So even that still is not achievable, no matter the concept now the world is throwing at us about marriage. Of course, you have polygamy, you have all of the whatever, even though it was ordained by God. I know, a lot of things, not just marriage alone, a lot of things that God's intention was good concerning, it's like the world has turned it to be a bad thing, because they don't understand that concept. They've tried to logically reason it out. It hasn't worked. Rather, it's more problems, And it's like, if they don't understand it, let's even scatter it all together. I think that's just the attitude, because that's what is just coming to my head. For the fact that you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not working or it can't work. Marriage is not a bed of roses, but of moments, because there must be bad goals to make it interesting. That is very funny. God, I like that submission. They don't want to sacrifice. I know. Me, myself, and I. In a marriage, it can't work. When you were a bachelor, when you were a spinster, it might work. But the moment you go into a marriage, there's nothing called I. It's now we, us. Michael, I'm going to invite you up. Please, we want to hear your views. Ernestina, I'm going to invite you up. Please, let's hear your views as well. Nobody wants to be tolerant anymore. Nobody wants to be understand. They say, don't kill me for my mother. I didn't kill my mother. Da, da. All sort of things. Like the moment it gets heated up like this, carry your bag and go. After all, the place that I left, they didn't chase me from there. I can always go back to my father's house, go back to my mother's house. The tenacity, the resilience level is nothing compared to our foremothers, our forefathers. Sacrifice. Yeah, some couples like, how about now? I didn't die for my mom didn't die for my dad. Why should I come and die for this person? Kind of a thing. So it's like everything is measured. Love that is being shared is measured. Trust is measured. Even communication is measured. The care is measured. And that's why you find out that the bond is not really what it ought to be. Because if I'm measuring even romance, I'm measuring everything in proportion, so to say. Where does that leave unconditional love? Where does that leave sacrificial love? Where does that leave all of these things? I might be wrong. Maybe I'm just in a world of my own. That's why I say, come together. Let's rub mind together. Hey, Leslie, it's good to see you. So you're in that relationship, you're not ready to forgive. Or some will say, as we're going into this relationship, if you do this to me, I will forgive. But if you do this, no, that is the end of that marriage. And truly, God helping that person. Oh, okay. Thank you for affirming that. Very busy and tough day. Tell me about it. So all sorts. They will give you condition. That's why I said these days now the wedding vows has been revamped, so to say, for better, for richer. They don't put for poorer, for sickness anymore, because they will remind you when certain things happen. Like, you remember our vow. I said for richer. I never said for poorer. So don't come and expect the unexpected from them. It's like unreasonable expectation. You don't have money to feed me, or you don't have money to take care of me, I'm out, kind of a thing, because I didn't sign up for poorer, or whatever. It sounds funny, but that's why I said sometimes when you hear why some couples break up, you will laugh. But these things are breaking them up, or they're allowing it to break them up. In marriage, one thing I know so clearly, so sure, is season come, season go. Sometimes a season can can last for years and years. So it depends really on what God is trying to do in your marriage. So to say, wedding vows has gone Web 3.0 with AI supercharged. Well, there you go. I wish we have what is being said these days, compared to the day I got married. It's still the same old traditional vows that we had to make, even though we may have added one or two of ours into it. But that standard wedding vow was still the one we used. Thank God, I still remember that. So, but these days, thank you, Leslie, you say it's gone 3.0, whatever that means, So it's just like the level of commitment is not 100%, because what's the guarantee? If you put 100%, you get 100% back. So let me withhold some, and you too withhold some. Like, in fact, it's something they even talk about and they agree. If you break that trust, this marriage is over. And you don't know how many trusts has been broken over the years. Do you want me to start counting? And now you just put a condition. What if it's in the first 2 months that the trust will be broken? So that's the end of that marriage, just like that. I don't know how they intend to build bed of roses with thorns, I guess, in that marriage relationship. So that's why I say, don't expect a perfect marriage. Your spouse is not perfect, neither are you. No matter how much of a perfectionist you are, when you get into that marriage, you find out that you're not perfect, nothing. Oh, anyways, it is well. Leslie, it's good to see you. I hope you can. Nobody's perfect. Exactly, nobody is. And there is no perfect marriage either. If I come here and tell you my marriage is perfect, you and I know that we'll be deceiving each other. That's how I say, keep it real and simple, make it real. I share some of my experiences. For those who have been here for a while, you'll know there's nothing to that's why I say, let's not shy away from it. Let's call a spade, because this is the only way we can truthfully help one another. Because some might be looking at this marriage, it's the best one. I want my marriage. Some will even pray, Father, let my marriage be like this person. But you don't know. You do not know what is going on there. And the challenges they're facing in that time in their marriage might not even be nowhere where what you're going to go through in your own marriage. So the owner of the marriage is the one you should be crying on to, that Father, let my marriage be what you intend for it to be. Let's let things be fluid. What did you write? Let things be fluid. Okay, maybe you will explain some more admissions. Leslie, can you speak where you are? It's like we've been waiting for you, really. Me and admissions have just been chatting here.
Good evening.
Interesting. I said there's some topics that immediately your box will get filled. There's some topics that Lord will have
This
mercy.
one is a tough one. No, I'm so glad you're talking. Let me just keep quiet.
Like my
God help all
topics
of
are
us.
always touching something in you.
God help all of us. But I will just
Amen.
quickly comment on that wedding vows thing. You see, I've seen so many new wedding vows. I'm almost laughing because
Please
I'm
share
not those
some of it.
people have
Share some
changed
of
it so
it.
much.
Hmm.
They changed so much wedding vow, and yet they're not even lasting long. I've watched. I see. I want to. I think I had one wedding where they both wrote like their own wedding vows and everything. That marriage only lasted 6 months.
Wow.
You know, these
Wow.
days it's like the more freedom people have, I don't
Mm,
understand it. It's like the more we don't actually appreciate the value
mm,
of that freedom. It's like I don't the correlation of when people are given or have things without having to fight for it or do anything for it.
yeah.
They just
Don't appreciate it.
yeah, you know, and it's such a strange thing because I today now where a lot more people are not getting married as they used to, and everybody's fighting their own corner. And at the root of it, it's like they're defending something they're
Mm.
unwilling to let go, yet they want something. They want that relationship,
They want
but
to
they're not
eat
willing
their
to
cake and have it.
and have it, you
It's
know. And so I'm hearing all these demands, and the person must have this, the person must look like this, and all this, and I'm thinking this is so unrealistic because life,
fun.
life will have its way. Life will do things to you that even if you like don't have children, it will still you can't avoid you just can't avoid problem in this life. You know, you just it's I think there's a I see a lot of people that they think because they have a good career, they deserve everything to be the best, including their spouse. You know, and I just look at it and I just laugh and I just think that is not the reality.
No.
Like it's just not realistic.
Mm-mm.
Um, and yeah, it's just this entitlement attitude that I deserve. And it's just the really, it's the grace of God we have anything. It's the grace
Mm.
and the mercy of God.
No.
And when people forget that,
Mm.
then pride runs the day.
Yeah.
Pride just runs the day.
And it
But
doesn't.
marriage is not a bed of roses. I don't care how rich you are. In fact, sometimes the richer you are, the more hidden, the more
What do you mean? What do you mean
hidden
marriage is not a bed of roses?
is not okay.
You
You
missed
know,
my talk. I said
I
I
which
said
I saw.
marriage is a bed of roses, but it comes with thorns.
It is. You know when God was telling the children of Israel that I'm taking you to the land of milk and honey.
Mm.
It's almost code for God to say milk. You must go and milk that cow. It's work. Honey. You must go and be able to take that honey from the bee. You must
Oh,
learn to
Daddy.
navigate. So it's not just the thing just going to be given to you. No, you must still find way to handle. They come with their own
Yeah.
work. It's
Yeah.
not free. You know, everything comes with work, everything comes with responsibility. And I think people today, they want all the blessings, they want all the rewards without any responsibility, without any
Ah,
work,
how
without
is
any
that
effort.
possible? How is that
You
possible?
know, I want the nice house, but I don't want to clean the house. I want the big car, but I don't want to maintain or service it. I just want. And it doesn't work like that. That's reality. You know, and the God that we serve, the God who created all of us, whether people believe him or not, he puts things in such a way that whatever he gives to us, he also wants us to look after it. In fact, if you see what he told Adam in the very thing, he said, tend and look after the garden. That's the work he gave. He said to tend it, to keep it, and to look after it. So if God does not just give people things without us having that responsibility to look after it as well. Our marriage is the same. That's why it takes work and effort. And even rich people, they find out that they too struggle in marriage, because if they don't put the work and the effort, you cannot buy your way out of problems.
At all.
So one very good example, I think, and especially when people start having children,
Yeah. Another challenge.
when and I've seen this because I can see I've seen as an example. Let's say the father is very successful, his business or his job, his career makes him to travel all the time, and he's never been there when the children are sick. He's never been there when the children are having a milestone, something happens. He's never been there to see them progress, to learn to read or write. He hasn't done that work.
Yeah.
No amount of money is going to bring that bonding process between him and that child if he doesn't make the effort
Be there.
to
Be,
bond with the child.
yeah.
You can't throw money at it and think it won't happen. That child will bond with whoever is spending the most time and attention with that child.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So wealth, if people think that wealth will solve every problem, raise children. Ask Elon Musk. One of his
Say,
children has
if
decided.
there's money, there won't be any problem in that marriage.
The thing is that this is what makes me laugh. I know, especially our people in Nigeria, we think that money solve all our problem. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I always tell people that if money solve all our problem, why are the richest people in Nigeria not solving the problems of Nigeria? Why are the richest people in government that have all the money, why are they not solving the problem of Nigeria if money solve all our problems? Yeah, I get what they're saying. I get what they're saying, but money without the values, without the character, without the integrity is rubbish. Because you're just fueling, it just fuels what the person character is like. So if you don't have a good character in your marriage and you have money, it will just fuel that attitude and behavior. If you haven't done the hard work of building a good character, having integrity, having a seven attitude heart in your marriage. Because in marriage, if you don't have seven attitude hearts and you come in with an entitled mentality, it's not going to work in marriage. It's not going to
It
work
may
in
work
marriage.
for a while, but after
For
a
a while, though,
while,
I've seen it. My wonderful hostess, I've seen marriage where these people, they have money. Hey, but I tell you, after a while, the madam got fed up. She got fed up, and it cost her
drastic.
to unalive. I think she unalived two of the children.
Wow.
Yes, yes, they were rich.
Are they blessed?
I'm talking the man's salary a year is over £3 million, and she unalived two of the children because she couldn't cope with the stress and the strain of the situation that she was dealing with.
Wow.
And she had they think it might have been something to do with when you have a baby. So is it postnatal depression?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There was two cases like that. They were both very well to do, very well to do. So and I've
In all of this you have said, I hear you. So can marriage truly be a bed of roses?
yes, it can be a bed of roses because you are tending to it.
Good.
You are giving it attention. A bed of even the term bed of roses. If you look at how you have to detail. You have to first of all chart out how it's going to look like. Then you spend time. You get the right seeds. Then you plant it, flower and then you have to tend it and make sure that it will grow according to the design you've set up. So it's work. It's effort. Yeah, we all enjoy the beautiful sight of the roses. We enjoy the beautiful smell of roses. But the work and the tending that comes to it is not cheap.
At all.
That's the real work. And it's like everything. So a good marriage requires that both parties, both husband and wife, are tending to it. And I am a strong believer that the man should is the example. Yes, the wife is going to support and also has to be invested, but the man must lead in that area. He must show, because the Bible tells the man that we should love our wife to the point that we're ready to lay our life down. But we should also be in a position where
Don't
we are
come and say
also.
that in today's
I,
world.
I know it's always the man to
They will
submit. The man
come for
submit.
you.
But God did not tell the man to submit to the point of death. He did not say that. So so
Jesus has died for everybody. Why should I die for you?
yeah, you know. But yes, marriage can be a bed of roses, but you got to put in the work. You got the green grass that people like is because someone's putting manure, is making it, doing the work that makes that grass look very beautiful.
In,
Very,
in
they are
fact,
mowing.
Leslie, I have to cut you. You're provoking this question. Admissions, I know you're there. Leslie, I'm asking you too, because I know at least both of you are married. Why is it that when you're courting your wife, then some of you has gone to the extent of opening doors, you go out of your way to ask how they are, you do all
Hey,
this pampering and stuff.
you have
Now
triggered me
you're
tonight
married.
too.
Why did they stop?
And I, if when I look back, the thing I did to get this my wife, oh my days, hey,
Hey, are you
I
still doing
think
1/10 of those things?
I don't,
Ah, I want
don't
to
forgive
ask
me.
men, please.
I used to go from Walthamstow all the way to Oxford Circus to go and meet her at her work, and I will stay there till she finishes, and then
Can you
follow her
imagine?
back on the train, back to our home, and then go from our home back to my place. And people will be like, "Are you crazy?" And I don't know. I think I was obsessed.
Like,
And
seriously.
the travel, the journey. Hey, Lord have mercy. But the thing is that when I got married to her, I would take her to work towards where she
Leslie,
worked.
Leslie, let me just deck my own top of yours so that
Yeah,
yeah, it will flow very well.
Okay.
yeah.
I did a similar thing. I'll go to her work. She was at the airport. I was also working one other part of the city. Ilupeju, I'll go all that way. Wait for her to finish, and we'll now come back home. Sometimes when she's going at her door to go with her, I look back and say, hey, that was a lot. For the
But
ones
you
that are
did
coming
it.
behind,
But
can
you
they
did it.
Honestly, that's so true.
And
I
you
look
did
back the
it
same way and think, how did
joyfully.
I do
joyfully,
it?
joyfully? And then there was this feeling that, oh, take one, close your eyes to others. Yeah. I did it, some tripping, a lot of tripping and all that. So it was like,
Ah,
I'm taking this one and this is it. And so I faced
yeah.
that and up to a level that, yeah, somebody can think anything.
So now that you guys have conquered, you just like, well, she's here now, so or because I really want to
Me, somewhere
understand.
along the line, I did not, I don't think I actually felt that I've conquered. I think this thing still
No.
went on. It still went on. And I was just
Ah,
going to say one thing somewhere along the line, yeah, and I'll come out for Leslie to carry on. Your
yeah.
children, you were talking about the next generation earlier on. Your children are watching. They are watching every move. They are watching what we are doing with mommy and all the rest. Very, very likely, we will not tell them that it will be bed of roses, but very, very likely they will cotole your line. They will do just about what you did.
Thank you.
Somewhere along the line, hopefully it will be a bed of roses with prayers and all that we are saying right now. Leslie, please carry on. I love that line, so I have to top it up.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that. It's good to know that there's a man that does the same thing. Yeah, it's funny the things that we do to when we fall in love is and the thing I don't see that much these days. I really don't see that much, and I don't know why. It's like almost like when I tell the young guys, they just look at me like they just talk to the girl, and when they try to find somebody else. And I think social media has kind of abused
Yeah.
or made it easy for people to just
Yeah.
talk to as many people as they want to. It's not like we didn't have. I mean, we had the internet when I was at that time when I was cutting my, but not on the level of the social media where you can access
I think
100, 200.
the essence of it is lost by
It's
the
not
day.
yeah. It's just, and I just feel like that's a missing thing where there's the value of being in love with somebody and doing everything you can to be with that person and to win their heart. I just don't see that anymore. So yeah, and I think that's part of the problem in a marriage where people are just going by this idea that it's all about the imagery and all the things they can want and just having this Instagram kind of lifestyle, but there's no true substance, there's no foundation,
Yeah.
there's no real like I really love this person. And again, this is why I say again, where men should lead, because I feel that when men lead in this area, it often makes the woman begin to know, oh, this man really values me, this man really sees me as very, very important, as very precious, and they will respond in like manner. But when the men don't treat the woman, the person they are with, it's almost like, then it's not there. There's the pursuit is of what you are trying to have, and I feel that plays a part even in marriage,
Most definitely.
in
Yeah.
how far you go in that relationship. And marriage has a struggle. Oh, it will test you. I don't care how much money you think you have. Oh,
Hey.
marriage will test you. You will go through stuff. If it's not health, if it's not health, it's going to be something
Finances. If it's
you
not finances, it will be
yes, then it will be the children, it will be
emotional. If it's
yes,
not that, it could.
yeah. I just want to round up on this because I'm speaking because I know Nigerians, everything is money, 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 and even certain people here in this part of our world. But even you look at the royal family, and we can see the separation has already happened, and that's a family that have a lot of wealth, and yet there's a fracture because of how um one of the sons saw felt they didn't treat his mother right in that relationship. And the mother made a statement that there's three people married in this marriage. And this is people that have money. So if there's no trust and people are having extramarital affairs, it's I don't care how much money you have, it's not going to have peace of mind. You won't have peace of mind. And that's another thing. If the person in the marriage is not feeling at peace or doesn't have that security, emotional security,
Yeah.
that this person is here, I can trust them with my life. I don't care what you have, it's not enough. Recently I was one of my friends that they have now gone their separate ways. And I just only found out recently that some things he had done that he didn't share. He did not
Wow.
share it, and we found out that there
With the
was some
wife.
level of yeah, he when he was making my wife was the wife had her own issue, but at the crux of it was there was no trust, and there may have been some extramarital thing going on, which was not shared until just recently we begin to find out certain things.
Wow.
So and just the emotional fallout of that relationship, I said, wow. So even and these are Nigerians, though. So if it's money, they had it. But even in that situation, because of that broken relationship in terms of extramarital affair, the woman just never felt like, no, this is not my home. It just and she couldn't recover from it. She
Wow.
just couldn't, no matter how much money the husband was bringing, it just wasn't it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and if other parties come into the marriage, then that can be a problem. I've been in a situation where I saw, I was with my child, we were going somewhere, and I saw this um Oibo woman with her child come out for a ride, this very big Range Rover, and the way she was doing, like she wanted, like she was avoiding me. I said, I know I'm black, but I'm not gonna steal from you in broad daylight. Only for me to pass by and find that her son, the person she was covering, his face was disfigured.
Oh, wow.
They were going to the doctor. His face was disfigured. So with all her nice Range Rover and everything, she's carrying a personal pain that her child's face is disfigured. So people are going to deal with problems, and I've learned that's why when God tells us to pray about peace and certain things, it's because God knows that what we really need, we need Him and everything that He is blessing
Yeah.
in the relationship, and it takes time, it takes faith, it takes patience.
Hmm.
Because even how we see our wife, how we see our husband, it changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It changes. There was something I used to complain about with my wife a while ago, and that situation is bedroom matter. And it was last week the Holy Spirit made me see that in a different level, and it changed my perspective so powerfully that now it doesn't bother me anymore. It just changed my mind, and I'm like, wow, because I just had a perspective change. So, but marriage is not easy. If you think you're going to have money and money will cover up for all your faults and flaws, you are in for a ride.
You're in cuckoo land.
Do the work. You
In
have to still do the
fact.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep doing the work, and you can testify. You can be married 25 years, 30 years. Certain things, if you don't guard against them, they are still real. They
Yeah.
can still face you. So don't play. We can't play with the enemy as well. We must be on our guard. But marriage is not better raises, and if it is, it's because someone's doing the work.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. The work, that is the cocoa of the matter. The work has to be done. And for what, I mean, so many reasons, because you both grew up in different homes with different values, different principles of life, and all of those things. And now coming together and just think the way you grew up, the way your mind is, the way you da 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 is how this person is going to be exactly. Fine, when you're dating, courting, you might have so many things in common, and that kind of drew you together as well. But at the end of it, you find out that there's so many similarities, so many differences you can pinpoint. So it now boils down to other factors such as love, their commitment level, are they trustworthy? Sometimes I used to imagine those people that their parents will find a spouse for them, those, what do you call it again, arranged marriage. You find out that 30, 35 years on, these people are still together even though they never fell in love. It wasn't love at first sight or anything like that. It's their parents, two parents coming together saying these children, oh yeah, go and marry each other, and they don't have a say. And they get married, you find out that over time they'll have to grow to love one another, they have to grow to trust one another, they have to grow into a lot of things. Because in fact, I picture that thing. I don't think I can ever do it. Imagine it's on my wedding day, I'm seeing my husband for the first time. How about now? Who pursue me? Abi, who? I cannot understand that. But it's some people's reality, and they're making it work. So if strangers can make it work because they're putting the effort and all of that in, how much more we that say we believe God, we know this God is the one that created this institution, we have the manual, da da da, and all of that. So this can spring up suddenly. Well, I think I may have missed the point there. So it's something that we have to work on. You have to work at it. No matter how many years you've been in there, you find out the work you even made, the work you put in yesterday is not sufficient for today. You have to re-strategize. You have to recalculate. You have to redo a lot of things to keep it going. So I always say it's not for lily-livered people at all. If you're not ready to put in the effort, the commitment, all of the things that it requires in a marriage, be honest with yourself before you even start fooling other people. Be honest with yourself. And there is no stamp that if you are 40 and you're not married, you will not, I don't know, you not enter into heaven or something. No. I'd rather wait till later when you know you're physically, mentally, you're ready to go into it. Otherwise, this bed of roses we're talking about, it will just be saying, it will just be a saying, you will not experience it. So it's very crucial for a man to be ready in all aspects. It's very crucial for a woman to be ready in all aspects because it's going to require a lot of things from you. If you're a selfish person, some people will even say outright, I'm very selfish, I'm very selfish. And now you are the one going into a relationship with this selfish person. And they've told you categorically they are very selfish. And now you think, your love for them will change them. A word is enough for the wise. If you don't sit down and talk about, you have to explain this selfishness. If something happened, you are this, you are, ask questions to know that level of selfishness they're talking about. It's not just no, they're joking or they're telling you they are a selfish person. So you can't come and want to change that overnight. They're telling you either you adjust, you love it the way they're selfish or whatever. Now don't go and marry them and feel, Shabu, we're married now. You have to change it to selflessness. You're looking for trouble. That's as far as I will say concerning that. Debbie, I've been trying to invite you, so I don't know whether it's a connection or I don't know. The Moles, how are you? Dodo, I've tried to invite you, even if you're not married. You know, these things, as long as you have parents who were once married, you experience their marriage life, you may not be married yourself. I know today we're talking about marriage institution topics and all, but it's not really for married people alone. Other people who want to marry someday, who are interested in marriage, can also be part of our contributors. So we're not discriminating anyone, please, and we're not even gender biased here, as long as we're talking the same talk here. Marriage talks is what we're talking about, and we're looking at, is marriage a bed of roses today? I mentioned commitment. If you want to enjoy it and see that bed of roses, you have to be committed. And if the commitment is one-sided, it will affect that relationship. I don't know how many roses you're going to see in there, but it will not be like what it's supposed to be. It's not one-sided. Are you ready to put the effort as well? Leslie mentioned effort. Are you ready to nurture that person as much as they're ready to nurture you? And like I say, it's a two-way thing. Most times where the issue comes is when things are one-sided, when understanding is one-sided or is not enough from the other person. You have to be prepared to sacrifice. I know, unconditional sacrifice, painful sacrifice. You'll be like, how, why now? For marriage? Who else would you sacrifice for? I wonder. Because when we not find ourselves in some situations in a marriage, sometimes you have to choose between life and death. Sometimes some situations will occur, and that is when you will truly be tested for the love, the true love you have for your spouse. I pray we don't get to that level, but I mean, sometimes some people do get there. I know of couples that, in fact, I even know, I still have a friend that they lost their wife over 15 years ago and they just even refused to remarry, because to them, when they're talking, you would think it was yesterday they lost their spouse. The level of love, the level of commitment, even after death, this person is still committed to their late spouse. So you can imagine, people have tried to matchmake, people have tried to bring this person, but he's not just interested. Like, no. When he start talking, in fact, you just sit and be looking like, what manner of love this one is. So for some people, the marriage is cut short maybe because of ill health, because of certain situations, as in not just even that they separated. It could be somebody dies, or you find yourself in such situation and you find out that people are even still loyal to that partner that is gone. How much more the one that is still alive with you? You're being tested. Like I say, if you say you love each other, that love will be tested. If you say, you understand, whatever is going good in that marriage, somehow it just comes to be tested. And then it's now for you to pass the test, so to say, financial imbroglios, or what is that? I never see this grammar before. Admission, don't come and make me bite myself. Or is it typo now?
Financial imbroglios.
Please explain.
Yeah, troubles, quagmires, and all that. What about financial quagmires? Yeah.
Okay, that one I relate with.
Let's imbroglios. Let's replace it with quagmires.
Imagine, admission. Imagine today's Gen Zs. They say, if you don't, I'm looking for someone that is handsome, he's got money, he has his car, he has his house, he has his business. They will list all of those things, yeah? Let's even say the person surfaces and then you go into a relationship with them, you now marry them. 5 years down the line, they lose that. What is going to happen?
You have to
That is my
struggle too.
question. Because if that is the reason you're marrying them, and this thing vanishes overnight, vanity upon vanity. So what after 5 years, is that going to be the end of that marriage?
Too late. Yeah. Because you find out that the things you went in for is not there anymore. And these things can happen.
Of course.
We
Of
don't even know
course.
the next minute, the next second. Anything can crop up. And before you know it, the money you thought you have
Hmm.
to be able to spend and
Throw
maybe
wings and
flout
fly.
before others that don't have is gone.
Yeah.
I think we should look beyond the immediate things that will attract you to the other
Yeah.
person.
Well,
And I was equally
I
going to
don't
add
like
this
what I
thing.
don't like, Abi. How do they say it?
There was also this I wanted to add earlier on.
Yeah, please.
Stop thinking you will change the other person. Who,
Please say it again.
stop thinking you will change the other, I will change the other person. Go and change even yourself.
Ah,
How much of yourself can you even change?
I wonder. Let
Except by the
alone.
grace of God, by the grace of God. I'm going in, I will change her, I will make her bad. You're just talking. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Out of ignorance,
Out
maybe.
of ignorance, maybe change the other person when you yourself don't even know how to go about changing yourself and all that. So that's where you were talking about sacrifice, tolerance, yeah, futuristic kind of analysis of where you're going, because you know who you have found. We said it earlier on how we sacrifice by traveling miles to go and meet the woman, walk with her. There, I don't even think I got my car then. Yeah, it was at some point that the car came in, we hop into them, come down, and things like that. Just because you wanted to hold one and close your eyes to the other ones who were like beckoning and all that. And yeah, sacrifice. And at the end of the day, things paid. And I equally was going to say, you're saying there's mystery in all of this marriage thing
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Can there be luck in marriage? Because you have some people who say they put everything into it, yet it crashed. People like, how did they? You say, I did all I could.
One-sided.
The other person was not doing
One-sided.
anything. I did everything. And in the end, I didn't want it to, but it did crash. You look at people like that with a lot of pity and be like, wow. I wish the other person also just did a little bit of what and the marriage would have been sustained.
Yeah,
The worst thing that can happen is to have a marriage broken.
I know. I know.
Bed of roses, it's never, but a lot of sacrifice, a lot of all that you have said earlier on, and my friend also added and all that. We have a new person who's coming with a whole lot of points. I can see that face. Let's have that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, thank you, Hidden. Let me see, Hidden. I can't see the full name.
Hidden
Hidden
gem.
Gems Academy. Thank you so much for joining us here on Insight. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How you
I'm
doing? Hi
fine.
everyone.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi, we're enthusiastic to have you. Wonderful, wonderful.
Honestly,
thank you.
thanks for joining us. Is it your first time?
My first time. Let me follow.
Yay.
My first time. I only came up. I was
Fresh
only
ideas
listening
are coming.
because
Fresh ideas.
fresh
Fresh one.
ideas. I don't know
Yeah.
about that. I was
Don't
just
worry, I'm gonna find you and
listening.
follow you after this live. Thank you. So I can actually do it here.
That's okay. I was following because I was listening for Leslie because he's my friend on
Okay.
another site. So I was just trying to hear what's going on. I literally just popped on.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's nice to hear you guys having a conversation about marriage again. Yet another relationship conversation.
You know, we
I
do that
think
here on Insight every Thursday. But on
okay.
Mondays, we come 8 p.m. UK time and talk about individual issues, issues affecting individuals that they don't want to talk about. So we do that here. So on Thursdays, we talk about issues affecting marriages that couples really do not want to talk about. So we dare ourselves to talk about it here on Insight so we can get insight, change our ways, reflect on things, do better by ourselves and our spouses so that we can enjoy our marriages. So
Yeah.
you're
Well,
welcome.
I'm not married right now, so probably
Doesn't matter.
I'm not an expert for you guys. But I can
Relate.
yeah, I can relate. I was there. So was it a bed of roses? Roses is probably, more like yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, let me
Wasn't
share my
great all the
submission with
time.
you. Can I share
But
my submission with you?
okay, yeah, sure, go ahead.
So the question is, after I always give a talk, so when I start at 8 p.m., I give my talk till about 9ish and then invite people up, we'll talk some more and all. So my thing is marriage truly a bed of roses? And I said, yes, but it comes with thorns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have more likely said but a bed of thorns.
Really? Well, that can be somebody else's story or phrase. So there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but we're here to rub minds on insight. We'll talk about it. Whatever it is for you, let's talk about it here because we rub minds with you. I have my own experiences, you have your own experiences. By the time we share experiences, we'll learn from one another something really. So let's hear your views.
Also, my view is that, it depends on who is in the marriage. So it depends on the two of you and what you can kind of co-create together. I think the challenge is when there is an imbalance
Yeah.
or um, you're not in harmony, you're not in alignment. Maybe some aspects are, but other aspects aren't. And then sometimes, the imbalance can become more over time. So I think in the beginning, everybody can be quite tolerant of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think as time wears on, our tolerance, depletes
Mm-hmm.
because people get tired of the same thing and people not changing or growing. And the thing is, you don't really go into marriage to be changing, but change happens.
Yeah.
We do grow, things will happen, changes will come. I guess the question is, how do we resolve conflict? Because those changes can inevitably bring conflict.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
if you don't have a mindset for resolving issues, or you don't have a good um, someone who's good at working with you through whatever the challenges may be, then what you find is that it becomes Groundhog Day, where you're repeating things again and again, and they remain unresolved. And that's why you'll hear people say at the end of a marriage, irreconcilable differences. They're just things that have never been resolved,
Those.
and just we keep revisiting them in different ways, but we never ever fully put them to bed. Yeah, so that is probably the biggest challenge. I think if people can go through stuff and let it go, I think there's a chance, but people can't let stuff go. Like they hang on to it. It's like you this happened 10 years ago and you're still remembering it next week, and it will be that way because I think we don't necessarily have a plan for finishing, letting go, completely finishing stuff. That means if you said sorry or you said, oh, this will never happen again, the problem is that it may happen again. And it's like, if it happens again, what's going to be my response the next time round? Am I going to sulk? Am I going to not speak for 3 days? What will be my response? Oh, we're going to talk about it and we're going to go back through it again. And I feel like you're not listening, which is often what people say. I'm not being heard. I'm not being listened to. And then people start to go into their camps of behaviors. What they do is drag up all their old behaviors from the past, and you've got to deal with those, whatever they may be. So I think the challenge is not the, I think getting married is a lovely thing. It's actually a wonderful thing to meet someone and to get that connection. I think the problem is staying married, sustaining that union.
Sustaining, yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. Yeah. So sustaining it, we can all get there. We can all put on the pretty dress or whatever and go
Tell
floating
me.
down the aisle in whichever way and have a big party. But when the party's over and everything's settled, we then have to live the reality of our existence together. And I guess it's, what does that reality look like? And can I live with it? And how long can I live with it? Yeah. But that really is all I wanted to say. Does someone want to speak?
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, no Well, we're still rubbing minds. The time is still very good. Maybe we'll do another half an hour if we can. One of us. Well, thank you so much, Hidden Gem, for that contribution as well. As key thing, nurturing that relationship so that let's even break down this bed of roses. We all have seen live roses before. I know it's a metaphor, it's a phrase commonly used for marriage, but let's break it down. As I said, yes, it can be a bed of roses, but it comes with thorns. And I don't think I've ever received any rose with thorns on it because somebody carefully removed the thorns. So marriage is beautiful. Like we said, God created this beautiful institution and he said it was good. And everybody, just like Hidden Gem said, you walk down the aisle in your pretty dresses, you look handsome, dapper, and all of that, beautiful. And everybody's on, oh, I wish it was me. Oh, it's good, beautiful. But then after the party, now this couple will have to enter into that institution to go and learn. Thorns will come as well as the roses, but if they don't know how to deal with that thorn, it will kill off the roses. It will kill off the love, the trust, the patience, the everything that is good in it. If care is not taken, let me say, if you plant roses in your garden, it will grow. That depends on the kind of rose you planted. It depends on the rose you brought in in the
Agree with
first
that.
place. Exactly, your spouse. That's why, in courtship or in dating or whatever, don't ignore red flags. Red flags you cannot sit that person down to talk about whilst you're still dating, whilst you're courting them. Don't think it's when you get into the marriage you address it. You're looking for trouble. And to the barest minimum, everybody that eventually gets married, they don't have it all cut out. They're not all perfect. They just know that 3/4 of him I can live with. The 1/4, well, I can manage. Likewise for the woman or for the man, either way. So if you are the one that 1/4 is what you can live with, the 3/4 you can't live with, please do not go and say I do and walk down the aisle thinking when you get into marriage it will flip over, 1/4 will become 3/4. You're kidding. Admission said it. Don't go into marriage with the mindset of wanting to change the other person. You're going to be wasting your time. In fact, the harder you try to change them, the farther away you find out that you can't even touch them. You can't even do nothing. How that thing works, I don't know, but this is what I've experienced, I've seen, I've heard, and all of that. So you are not a magician or to want to change anybody. Even the one that God changes, the amount of prayer and fasting you have.
And to top it is we are all damaged one way or the other. All human. Our DNA and all that, all damaged. So go and take care of what you should take care of instead of thinking I'm going in, I'll change that person and all the rest. And even as we were talking now, I have this that just an inferences that came. I used to see an Adi marriage sometimes years back when I was growing. And inside a year, it wasn't a nearby. I might even just say an uncle. And I'll be looking at that marriage. He was just like me and Leslie. Chased the woman all the way, was always after her, pampering and all of that. And invariably, I do came in. And the marriage went on, remaining a very exemplary one and all that. Have not seen him for years. And recently I got in touch with and was just, these two people. And he went, what? Which people when they fall long separated? What? Separated? It's not even that the roses are no longer roses or whatever, but that they are gone their ways. After 2-3 kids, I'm like, so how did it all happen? I became very curious. Maybe for the sake of this night now, because I've never drawn inferences from me before. Then I went, what is it? They suddenly the man. They said the man. He introduced a friend who was a near dog. He was always going around with much younger girls. We go into the campuses and pick young girls. As soon as the wife was told that that's the kind of person he picked as a friend, he warned him. I'm like, wow, why are you doing this? I can he drop from comments around that you're doing something like this. He went, no, how would I? He denied it completely, but carried on until it became glaring that he was doing something like that. So what the wife did too, in a way that I would never believe, was that she started going out with his mechanic,
Oh,
the one that is equally very close to them, that takes the car to go and repair and all that. He became like a family friend in a way. He now started dating. So when the man knew, of course, no man took up, he just went mad, and that was the end of this ideal
really?
marriage. That yes, I've not read this in books, but it's an experience I can easily relate to. Where it came from, I think I'm meant to submit it on this for as a woman like this.
Wow.
Yeah, the marriage is crashed. I was
Wow.
virtually shedding tears. And I told my wife, she went, what? Because she knew about how much we all kind of adore the way
The
the whole thing was
relationship.
going. And we said it earlier, how something will suddenly, from nowhere, a challenge will just come in. Something will just spring up. He tried to stop the husband from doing what, but he couldn't. Meanwhile, the man denied instead of owning up and say, okay, then I'll stop it.
That's what I said, that it takes two. It takes two to building this, and it takes those two to break it at the same time. If things are one-sided, there will be issues. In fact, it's even they're even together, there are still issues. How much more? So if a wife calls a husband out on anything, you're not honest, you're not truthful, you don't have integrity, and you think you want to build that marriage on those things, it's not going to be possible. And now look at the other partner doing eye for an eye. You do this, me too, I will do this. At the end of the day, where is our marriage today?
And he got much, much madder than he went really, really crazy. He couldn't stand that idea.
So one rule for the man, another rule for the woman.
And at the
I've
end
seen
of the
that
day,
happen quite a few times. I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen. But that was a similar story to Bill Gates' situation where his wife warned him not to see that man that is there on alive in the prison. Apparently, a few years before that thing happened, and she actually warned him not to be going, not to make friends with him, and he didn't listen to her. And later on, when she found out that they were friends, she began the proceedings because she knew it was going to be bad news. And look at how the thing turned out. So, yeah, in that she couldn't stomach it. And again, that's a billionaire's wife. But she said that was a deal breaker for her
You would think
of
all
his
the money in
friendship.
the world should solve whatever problem.
no, it doesn't.
No,
Nope.
she didn't want that. She didn't want the fallout of what the guy relationship with this particular individual was going to be, which eventually happened anyway. And she was right. So one has to be one has to be very careful that even in a good
External
marriage,
influences, we have to be careful.
yes,
Yeah.
You
very,
see,
very careful.
it's not all the time when a spouse is warning you against a particular person that they're just talking for talking's sake. It's always good to reflect on these things. Even if you think they're talking for talking's sake, you reflect on it. There has to be a reason. Some, it could be born out of jealousy, we understand. It could be born out of a lot of things, but not the first time, not the second, not the third time. It's worth thinking about. Because certain things we don't see, our spouses will see from a mile off. And they're trying to warn us, to guide us, but we feel, why, and we
Also,
don't
they are
have.
seeing it. They are seeing it. They just think that they can control it. That's the mistake they make. Is that they think they can control it, but they are seeing it. They just think, it's not really me. It's my friend that does that thing. But they don't. But the Bible says that bad company corrupt good character.
Corrupts.
Of course. Of
It's a
course.
matter of
Good. It
time.
didn't say character. It said it corrupts good character.
Practice.
And I've learned that I've seen that the hard way. I've seen that play out. I remember a man of God years ago. This was before I even got married. This is maybe like 3 or 4 if I got married. And I remember he said, you can. He said, I thought it's not possible. He said you can have a very good marriage, and it can go wrong if you
Canada.
don't. If you think it that good marriage will just stay on by itself. If you don't do any work, that it can go wrong. And I was like, yeah. And he actually gave an example how things were working for a particular person he knew, working very well, and they were doing very well. But because they were doing very well, the guy began to feel, I don't really need to pray as much. I don't really need to do all this. And he didn't know when he was in the arms of another woman.
Wow.
And he had a good mind. Actually, he had a good mind. They were not fighting. Not everything was going well, but he just felt spiritually. I don't really need to do as much because they were comfortable in life. They were really, really comfortable. But he didn't know when he met someone in the bar, and one thing led to the other, and it just went south badly.
Thank you.
You
Take
know,
it.
so
Take it lest you
that was a
think.
cautionary tale for me, a big one. I never forget that sermon he preached that day. I think the man's even late. I think the man's now late now. But yeah, it was a thing that taught me a lesson that even a good marriage, you must still do the work.
Yeah, definitely. Don't take things for granted. Otherwise,
And Leslie's contribution now is making me a bit kind of emotional. I'm telling you, we just have to pray for some of us who can say, oh, it's been so good, it's been this, it's been that. The roses came, they are there, the thorns came, we surpassed it. We still have to pray
yes,
to
indeed.
finish well, to
Yes.
see our children settled, who
Amen.
boys, and let them get a partner, a bond of their bone, and live well in our lifetime. I'm telling you, we cannot afford to rest on our oars. We have to keep on praying, asking for grace to forge on. At no
Yes.
time can I say, oh, I have a perfect marriage and go and brag somewhere. No way. It's an evolving thing where
Yeah.
we still have to go to back from time to time, say, oh Lord, please help me.
Help us. Yeah.
Help us, sort us out.
It can
Pray
be
for even your
better.
friends. As you're praying for even the next generation, now we're looking at a broader level because we are not supposed to be selfish in our prayers. The ones that you're talking about, Generation Z and all the rest, let's pray for them too to fall in line with God's ordained
Plan
purpose
for
for
them.
this marriage so that they don't start seeing it. It has to be on the platter of gold. There will never be thorns. They are there, but God will see us all through.
Amen.
In the name
Amen.
of our
Thank you.
Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen. Thank you. More people joining us on this crucial topic today. Susan, how are you? My dear sister, how are you? It's good to have you here on Insight. I hope you are good. Susan, you're muted. Okay. Oh, Minister Sarah, you're welcome as well. Susan, can you speak where you are, or do you want me to go to Kenneth? So that, okay, let me see. Okay, Kenneth, I don't know if you're there, either of you that is ready to join this conversation, please. We want to hear your views. What is your take? Do you think marriage can truly be a bed of roses? We've expanded it. I know you guys are just coming not too long ago, but I'm sure you have ideas, one or two there you might want to share with us. So you guys have to unmute because I don't know if you're here. Oops, I don't know if you're hearing me or not. Susan, are you there? Kenneth, are you there? Please unmute. Let us hear you.
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
everybody. Good evening, us.
Good
Thank you
evening.
for
You're welcome.
a wonderful topic like this. Marriage can never be a bed of roses because I remember many years ago the late Archbishop what he said when one of the elders was giving testimony that I've been married for 20 years. Me and my wife don't have issue. He said no, that is a lie. There is no marriage. There is no marriage
I don't
that
know
is
why
so
people say
perfect.
these things though.
We all have our fault. We all have our mistake. Like what the brother just said, that we will keep praying every day
Yeah.
that we don't fall into temptation. Your marriage can be smooth for 10 years, 20 years, but when you get to the 25, 30 years, you can see up
Hey.
and down things
Deeper,
that
the deeper you go, the deeper stuff becomes.
exactly things that you haven't been experienced before.
Hmm.
Maybe the woman will begin to bring things that you did 10, 20 years ago that you haven't forgotten. You don't remember that kind of things happen. Or the man will begin to bring all sorts of things. We keep praying every day that God continue to strengthen every marriage because there is no marriage that is a bed of roses. Every one of us, we have our own faults and we have our own up and downs in marriage. And we pray that our generation that is coming up, even according to the brothers in the Z generation, that don't want to overstay, they don't want to overstay again in marriage. That is why you see young girls and boys tell 18, 20 years, I have a child, but you don't know the father or the father. So such a thing. We never pray for those kind of marriage, but we pray that God had create marriage, because marriage is one of the things that God Himself create. And we pray that God will continue to strengthen each marriage on daily basis, and the both of them will come together to understand the reason of marriage, the purpose of marriage. By so doing, God will continue to help us on daily basis. But marriage is never the bed of roses. God bless you all.
Thank you. Oh my God. I feel I'll have to be repeating myself with this, because when people come, I mean, everybody's coming from their own wealth of experience. Imagine the way Kenneth said marriage is not a bed of roses. But Kenneth, I said marriage is a bed of roses, but it comes with thorns. What do you think about that? Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, yeah, everybody have their own perspective of thinking things. Because for me now, I would say I've been married for the past 15 to 16 years. Now, my experience might not be your experience.
Of course.
What I found. Some people will say for the first 15 years, I wish I did not marry. But some will say, yes, thank God I'm married, because if not, my life won't be like this. So that is why there must be times where things will not be going smooth
Of
the
course.
way you want it. So there must be time where the man or the woman will be regretting why I did not go for my ex, why did I leave my ex to at the end up with it. Even the woman will say, why did I leave my ex and end up with this kind of man or with this kind of woman? So
Yeah.
that is why I bring it that marriage is never the best of it, but we continue when we find ourselves that we are become one. We continue, begin to plead for the mercy of God, that God will guide us. I see people at the end of it, after spending a lot, all the investment, everything, the woman will say, I'm not doing it again, or the man will say, I'm not doing it again. So it's never, that's why I bring it in my own perspective. I say it's not a bed of roses, but we always thank God. The God that found marriage, that He should help us, He should guide our marriage on daily basis.
It's very important. Important prayer
Yes.
to pray. Thank you. Thank you for that addition, Kenneth. I don't know if Susan, can you hear me, Susan? You have to unmute, Susan. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, maybe she just came to give me moral support, but
What
okay.
about our friend Tatin Jade? We came on almost about the same time. He should be able to.
A13 is my brother from another mother. He's always here helping me to tap, 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 because he doesn't speak English. So, and I don't speak Spanish too good. If not, I would have interacted with him and translated it to you.
Yeah.
So
We
he's
follow each
always
other
here.
too, so I didn't even know that. Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
for
so he's in fact he's my number one fan apart from Leslie.
and me.
And
And
you,
me.
Mr. Admission,
And,
yes.
and me,
Oh, there we are.
everybody like the topic. We are learning. We are learning from you,
Everybody. Okay,
every
this
week.
for
So
everybody.
we are all your fans.
Thank you so much. I really love the support. I say, if not for you lot, I don't know. I'll just be here talking and talking and nobody to chat with or discuss further. So I really, really appreciate both the old, the new, everybody. And no, Adegbenga, I should reach out to him. I hope he's good. I hope so. I'll reach out to him after this live. I'm surprised he's not here. Two programs or three now. It hasn't been, because I remember I specifically would look for his name to send a reminder to him. So we can reach out to him as well. And guys, please let's follow one another here on this platform. It's a safe space, I believe so. Let's follow one another. And if you have followed me, I will find you. Don't worry, after this live, I will find you. And please, if you have your live program as well, you can share with us so that at least if we're free, we can bump in on you and come and surprise and support you as well. So please, guys, let's keep tapping still whilst we're talking about this topic today. We're going to be rounding off soon. If Suzanne is not speaking, I don't know, Debbie, if you're somewhere you can talk now. Minister Sarah says, she wants to listen. Shine, I'm just seeing you. Let me bring you up. Maybe you have one or two to add to it. We've been asking, can marriage truly be a bed of roses?
So for me, let me see if I can just run this. Yeah.
Okay.
Once I heard you on this same program, you went something like, "Whatever a man sows, he will reap." And Leslie too came on saying that we should try and be as nice as possible to people who meet as we carry on in life and all the rest.
Yeah.
There's somewhere along the line that I think this can also translate into our marriage or whatever.
Okay.
And we invariably settle. If you are the one that somewhere along the line, you've always been very nice to women, you know how fragile they are, you know how they need to be nurtured and pampered, and you follow that all through. I don't know where I'm having this. I'm not able to hear that. Somewhere along the line, you will find a woman that will be very loving, that will be very kind, that will reciprocate almost all the nice things you've done to ladies. So much that even yourself, you will look and say, I think I'm just lucky. But you're not.
What did you do to deserve this
All
person?
that you have sowed somewhere along the line is paying off just about the time you're settling, and it's also following you into the marriage. You will never rule out the idea of praying, the idea of holding on to God and all the rest, but somewhere it will filter through. I'm getting a bit philosophical now, but it will filter through. Yeah, I'm able to even hint this on on an experience.
Okay.
I'm able to hang it here on an experience. I'll leave it at this point. I'll leave it here.
All right, thank you. It does happen, just like you said, and of course, at the same time, I bet if you search well with the people you know, people around, you may see that this maybe could be the woman or the man. They're so good, they've been sowing this and da da da, but they just end up with like the devil. They will end up like with the devil. So most times when we say certain things, that's why I always say to us, don't put yourself in a cage, because some people, rather than praying, they'll be questioning God. I've been good to men. I've never dated any man. Why have you brought this person my way? But God, you showed me this, da da da. But along the line, even Christians, some do backslide, and it's always hard for their spouses to accepting that. It's one of the issues. I was in a hangout that I was sharing. Some of the times we find out that because we're Christians, we're doing life together and all of that, and we don't pay attention, or we don't think that our spouse or a spouse could actually backslide and they're doing things opposite their normal self. And these things do happen. So it's not like you married the wrong person. Why me? Those kind of things would tell God, why me? Why? I've done good. But then, bad things happen to good people. This is life. This is part of life. But it's how we navigate those bad events, those conflicts, those issues, those challenges is what matters most. Because if challenges kills everybody, I don't think there'll be anybody left to even be talking about marriage, let alone in a relationship and things like that. But you find out that even though we're praying, we're not even praying the right prayer in that kind of situation. We are praying prayer of emotion, and we cannot blackmail God by our emotion, despite the fact that, of course, we're in pain, we're hurting and things like that. So it takes a lot. That's how I would say it's mature men and women. And you find out that it has nothing to do with age either. Because sometimes you can see a 40-year-old man still behaving like a 16-year-old boy. And sometimes you see an 18-year-old, man, because becoming a man, behaving like a 40-year-old person. So it's not really about age, but about this person. And that's why it's very crucial to pay attention to details when you're courting, when you're dating. Because, like I say, you cannot marry this person because you want to change them in the marriage. You're wasting your time. So red flags that you know that you cannot live with, do not accommodate it on an engagement level or courtship level or whatever level. So it's not all the time that good things happen to good people. Bad things do happen to good people, and that's part of life. But when we have this alpha and omega to help us navigate through that pain, we'll find out that we'll come out stronger on the other side. And this marriage, we thought, could this be the end? We'll find out that that issue or conflict or whatever has even brought us closer as a couple if we let God, really, because it's tough, it's hard. I was sharing here not too long ago of these people, they've been together, they never got married. All their friends were married and they had 3 children. And then now everybody on their case, when are you going to tie it? When are you going to, the end of the day? And for whatever reason, that partnership seemed to be working for them. Because of the pressure, external pressure we talked about, they decided to go and tie the knot. And guys, they didn't last 6 months. They're like, no, this is not for them. And it almost broke them finally. So they had to divorce to now live together, and they were okay. So it sounds crazy. For whatever reason, maybe that works for them. But it doesn't have to be for every couple out there. And again, we are growing up. I got married at 23, 24-ish, and I told you I've lived half of that. I mean, the same amount of years with my husband now. So the me he got married to is not the me sitting and talking with you even. If it was the year I got married, I don't think I'll be bold enough to come and do this program because I don't have any experience other than the one from my parents. And trust me, if I go by that, I don't think I'll ever marry myself. So what am I saying? Experience will teach you. You will grow in that relationship. As long as you're positive-minded, you're nurturing together, you're doing these things together. Sometimes the togetherness, devil is not happy. People around you are not even happy. They just like, is it only you? After these people have been married, they have issues. You just come, you're happy, you're this. Some people are not even happy that you're happy in your marriage. Whether we want to hear that or not, it's the reality. There was a time, what happened years back, somebody came to my husband and said, this is your wife, self. They were saying all sorts. Or was it that they were talking to somebody? My husband was at the back listening. And he could not help but to go there and say, this woman you're talking about. He answered them. But once upon a time, if he didn't take time to know me, would he be able to defend me? I don't think so. Sometimes you find yourself doing certain things you never thought you could for your spouse, because you're in it together. And you protect them as much as they're protecting you. Sometimes, when we have issues, you're fighting one another. Tendencies, you want to go and report to somebody, or you want to go but be mindful of the people you report to, because if care is not taken, they will separate you all together. All these things you need to pay attention to. Some people go into course upon courses, premarital, things to know in marriage, and still, has it worked for them? Not necessarily. So even we with the manual, the Bible, do you not have Christian brothers and sisters fighting each other, and you'll be wondering, can God not rule and reign in this home? And everybody is still standing their grounds and all of that. All these things happen. It may be beyond our control, but when you remember the reason why you've gone into that marriage, till death do you part. That's I say, for richer, for poorer, for this, for that. All of those things will just come. And if they come, would that be the end of that marriage? And I always say here with caution, as long as it's not domestic violence and those domestic abuse and stuff we're talking about, we're okay to still go ahead. Because when it's DV, I would not advise anyone to stay in there. Because we know of cases where people have been unalived in that marriage. That's not the one we're talking about today. But just about this unhealthy way of living in that marriage. Sometimes we take each other for granted. Sometimes we feel, must you always do what you say? Can't we even do what I say? Sometimes it's a competition between husband. I've heard so many cases like that, especially when the age difference is not too much. Between the ages, 1 or 3 years, sometimes they tend to compete. Sometimes they don't even know they're doing this. And then it's not helping that marriage in a healthy way. Yeah.
Oh. I said, did something happen?
Are you talking to me, Hidden?
Oh,
okay. Are you making... Okay. I think somebody just got offline. Susan, are you still
wasn't.
there?
No.
Okay, it's all right. So, Shine, let me come to you. Maybe we'll be taking your submission to rounding up tonight. Double life. Hey, tell me about it. Sometimes some people pretend, and the moment you walk down that aisle, in fact, the very next day you see a different person altogether. That's another topic for another day. In marriage, be willing to change for the better. Yeah, it has to be a personal decision. Because when you're going in there with the mindset of changing your spouse, you're wasting your time. Shine, we want to hear from you. Can marriage be a bed of roses? Is the question tonight. How are you? It's good to see you today.
Thank you, Mom. It's good to be here too, and it's good to see everybody. And I've just been here taking all the things in because this, for me, is a learning platform, and that's why I would always be excited to come here
Thank
all
you.
the time. So back to the question:
Yeah.
can marriage be a bed of roses? My submission would be: it can be whatever it is, depending on who is setting the standard and what the standard is. It can be a bed of roses depending on who is setting the standard and what the standard is. So, if the standard is your neighbor's marriage, your friend's marriage, I don't know, it could be whatever it is because we cannot adopt. I think I was in church on Sunday, and in the course of the teaching, I said to them, we conducted a wedding on Saturday.
Okay.
I was ministering at the wedding, and I said to them, these are two nations coming together to form another nation. And so it means that our memorandum of understanding must be different from what we are used to. It means that what we're having right now is an amalgamation. And so when there is an amalgamation, there is always a memorandum of understanding, meaning that I have my beat, you have your beat. So how do we both make this work? I can't bring everything about my nation into yours. And I'm hoping that you will also not bring everything in your nation into mine. So what do we agree on
Yeah.
how to make it work, right? So it's an amalgamation and it's a different nation that is being formed. It is not your nation or my nation. It's a different nation altogether. And so if you are setting the standard based off on what you have seen elsewhere, then you might have an issue. So if you want to make it bed of roses, you must understand the soil at which you're planting your roses. You must understand the house and the foundation you want to lay for your house. So I'm going to take it from the perspective of the bed and the roses. For you to have a bed, it means that you can't put it, it's a place of rest, right? And so if it's going to be a place of rest, it can't be in the public. So if it can't be in the public, then it means that you must lay a foundation for a building. And so it depends on the kind of foundation you are laying for that building and the kind of structure you want to put on your foundation to give you enough space for you to have your bed in it. All right. And then the kind of ground as well that you want to plant your roses. Every rose has a thorn, like what I've heard. And so if you want to make it a bed of roses, you also should decide within you that when the thorns prick you, you chose to be on that bed. That's not to say that it has to be thorns all the time, but you also have to, for the roses that you are seeing, take whatever comes with it. And I'm not saying take abuse like you have highlighted so clearly. I'm not saying take the abuse. I'm not saying take what abuse of any kind, whether it is mental, physical, whichever abuse that comes with it. I'm not saying take any abuse, but I'm simply saying that you decide. I mean, there are things that everybody here would have done to their spouses. And the truth is that you and I know that if you go outside to tell anybody that thing that you actually did to your spouse, you probably know the response already. You know that nobody's going to agree with you on that. However, your spouse also did not take you to the washerman, neither did your spouse take you to the public. Your spouse still took it, meaning that at some point or the other, we'll find ourselves taking our spouses for granted. That shouldn't be a culture. However, it happens. So whatever standard you set would determine what your bed would look like. It would determine whether it can be a bed of roses for you. Like I said, the thorns will prick you at one point or the other. You have disagreements, you have conversations, altercations. So far, you're not taking it to the extreme. It will surely come. I cited an example some times ago. I don't know if it was here, about how when I got married to my wife, I had a way of keeping my things. And then she came and she was this prim and proper kind of person, and she wanted things to be the way they should be. And at some point, I started harassing and accusing her. Why are you moving this from here to here? Why are you trying to place this from here to here? The truth was that she didn't do anything wrong. She was only just trying to keep it more organized. And she just looked at me and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you got married only to be a bachelor." I mean, in all honesty, that day, I trekked from my house to wherever it is I was going. I was just thinking, I didn't know you got married only to be a bachelor. I don't know you got married only to be a bachelor. Because in my head, I'm like, no, it's just that when I put my pair of socks here, if I need it, I just know this is where it is. Now you now have to create a locker to put my socks in it. But that was it. And like you rightly said, who you are then and who you are now are two different set of people. Why? Because you are constantly rearranging the house, you are constantly rearranging your space, you are constantly making room for more. And so the more you make room for more, the better it is when you want to go to bed at night, because you now discover that, oh, there was no stress today. I mean, at some point, I would gladly celebrate 5 days without quarrel in my life, like gladly.
Wow.
Like, you didn't quarrel for 5 days. Wow, that is massive. But right now, I can't even remember the last time we did. Not because we don't have, like I said, we have differences, right?
Both of you have grown to each other, into each other.
But definitely, we keep making room for more. We keep creating the space. We keep allowing things slide. Like yesterday, we were sitting together and we were gisting. And in the course of, our gisting, she said, do stuff for me. And I said, say please. And then she said, please. I said, say please, please, please. And she said, how dare you? I said, how can you tell me how dare you? I mean, those are the things that used to get me angry back in the days.
Can you imagine?
Two things you tell me, how dare you? Or you tell me, I don't blame you. And trust me, we turned it to joke. And she said, if you touch me, it's an abuse. I said, if I touch you, oh yeah, shout, let the whole world hear that I'm abusing you. And it became a joke to us because we have to keep making room for more.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. It will become a bed of roses or otherwise, depending on whose standard you are working with and who is even setting that standard. Because if it is one-sided, you have issues. If you are the only one placing a demand on this union, there will be issues. If the man is a sponge, let's just remember that no matter how much a sponge tries to soak it in, one day from a drop to a squeeze, and from a squeeze, the things that you thought were gone will just come out and becomes matters arising.
Yeah.
That will be my submission for tonight. Thank you once again, Ma, for this.
Okay, Kenneth, I think, is that Kenneth? Yeah, I said marriage is not a bed of roses. It's not always easy or carefree. Thank you, Shine, for that submission. In fact, you made me laugh. But serious matter in there. They say a word is enough for the wise. There is no two marriages that are the same. Like, we are all just, trying to rub minds here, how we can do better in our marriages. And these things will not just happen if we're not intentional about it. That change you clamor to see, are you a changed person yourself? Because sometimes we just want to change our spouse, we were not even changing. We're the same yesterday, today, forever, when we're not Jesus Christ, So it goes both ways. It takes two to building that home, and that's how God has designed it. And if we're facing any sort of challenge, let us go back to the author of marriage itself, because he's the only one who has a solution. I've said it many times here that a lot of things I learned, it's not that I went for counseling or anything. A lot of things that I learned, I can proudly say the Holy Spirit gave me the wisdom. Sometimes it's hard, the things he will ask me to do. I'm like, this is chancing. Holy Spirit, telling Holy Spirit that this is chancing. You just be looking at me. When you're ready to hear me and do what I've asked you, you better go and do. And I'll grumble. Sometimes I'll grumble, I'll moan, I'll, throw tantrums and all of that. At the end of the day, I know I'm still going to do this thing. And then when I do them, it works like magic, if I can put it that way. And I'll be like, hey, look at the suffering. I've been suffering myself all this while. It pays in the end. It does. If you can follow through. That's why I say it's a bed of roses that comes with thorns. Those thorns is what a lot of people cannot handle. And those thorns, because they can't handle it, is breaking that marriage up. And then what are we passing to our children? Because imagine it's only two of you in that marriage, you have 4 children, or you have 5, as many God has blessed you with. Each one of them are going to be attached to somebody in the future. Just 2 of you, later, that 2 that has produced 5, that 5 will become 10. Imagine. And then they 2 offspring. That's how we have one generation to another. So then what are we passing on to those, our own 5? Do you understand? We cannot control how other people are bringing up their children, but those children, we can't control how they're being brought up, is the one that will come and attach to our own. And God helping you, you haven't trained yours properly as well. Imagine what that marriage is going to be like. You know, sometimes we pray, we don't put the action, and yet we want a result, a good result at that. Prayer without works is dead. That's what my Bible says. So when we pray, let's search ourselves. That's what I always say here on Inside. Let's self-reflect. You can tell yourself the truth. You might be in denial, but tell yourself the truth. Say, my best part is where you are now. What do you mean? Oh, this bit, okay. So it's
Now,
oh,
you're kind of broadening it. We should look beyond our immediate marriage and all the rest.
I'm
For
telling you.
becoming 8 and all the rest. Yeah. And the children are watching us, whether you like it or not.
I'm telling
Let's be a
you.
good example. I see it in the way my son is relating with his. I'm like, what? What's happening here? With a bit of even jealousy sometimes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that admissions. I saw this clip. This father, I think it was Valentine's Day, I think so. And this the child probably is 2 or 3-year-old girl. And when they started with the clip, it was like roses, petals all over the floor to the kitchen to the. And I'm like, oh, the woman will come from work and she would trace it and go to the room and she'll say the big thing. Guess what? It was this 2, 3-year-old girl walking in this kind of high heel walking, and she saw the flower, picked the rose, went up the stairs, barely climbing. It was just so funny. And then when she entered the room, there was a small settee table for her to sit. There was petal roses, there was gift and all. And the dad was there and brought her and kissed her hand and treated her nice. And then they wrote on there, if you don't treat your daughters right, they will not know how to be treated, and they will grow up and just allow anybody to treat them anyhow and think. It got me thinking that truly, what are we teaching our children in terms of marriage, in terms of relationship, in terms of how to treat other people, in terms of tolerance, in terms of empathy, sympathy, all of those things? It goes a long way. The standard has already been set. So this girl, she will not allow any guy to take her for granted. You just treat her anyhow. I think you should be falling in love or heads in love. No. So it goes a long way. We might feel, oh, it's our marriage, it's our marriage. Hey, but you're building future marriages in that marriage unknown to us or whether known to us. So we really have to tread carefully. We don't, I always say to my boys that all of you better learn how to cook. All of them can cook, and I thank God for that. I said, because issues will happen when your wife says, because you're upset, I'm not going to cook for you. I said, you enter kitchen, cook for the 2 of you and sit. Oh yeah, what else? And they always laugh when I say that. I said, you won't understand, but one day soon, you will understand. I said, so no woman can do shakara and say, well, I will starve you because we're quarreling. I said, you guys know you cannot starve. In fact, you will cook for yourself, cook for them as well. And they laughed it off. So what am I trying to say? Let's be mindful that this marriage institution we're talking about is beyond us even, especially when children are involved, as many as the Lord has blessed us with. Put that in mind as well. What kind of example? Like I say, it's by the grace of God I'm married. I will say that over and over. Because if I look at where I'm coming from, honestly, maybe it's one seminar, you people will be hearing me giving lecture. I don't know. But it was just by the grace of God, I'm telling you. Because some of us, sometimes we don't have good role models where we're coming from. And I will not allow that baggage to deny me of, my own future. So we have to move past it. That was their marriage. It didn't end too good or whatever. Separation after, is it 10 or 11 years or whatever? My parents, And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want to go from fire pan to fire. But I said, okay, if truly I must go into it, I cannot live life like that. It was an intentional way of thinking. I can't afford to. I was 9 when both parents separated. And I say, God, I can't imagine having a 9-year old who's looking for where is dad today, where's mom today, and things like that. The torture for me made me to be intentional. Like, God, as much as it lies with me, this thing has it got to work. Oh, you have to help me, Lord. Give me the manual of manuals. Is it a bed of roses? Not all the time. The roses are there, the thorns come in as well. And as much as we're intentional, we're working it, putting the commitment, putting the effort, hurt each other here and there, forgive one another here and there. All of these things kind of add up. And you find out that before you know, you're counting 10 years, 20 years, you're counting 40 years. You know, you've chosen to do life with this person. Whatever comes your way, do life still with this person and pray that God help you. Just like admissions, Leslie, everyone has been saying, let's pray to God to help us, because this flesh is weak sometimes. And the things we do, sometimes some people just say, is this your spouse that has done this? You'll be wondering, have somebody replaced your spouse because you don't even understand this person? You have moments like that. Is that for you to open the door and say, I'm working out, I'm not doing it? No. Okay, Susan, are you able to talk now? I know you just said you just finished work. Smoothing the rough edges. Yeah, because it will be rough. And if you neglect it, it will be so sharp that it can cut anybody. So let's pay attention to those thorns, especially because, I mean, if it's a bed of roses, roses will not hurt anyone. It's good, you know. Good evening, sis. How are you?
I'm good. Good evening, everybody.
How was work today?
Tired.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, some of us who are tired, but we just have to do what we have to do. Sometimes I'll be like this. I'll be like, Lord, give me strength, because the sleep is trying to fight its way in somehow. So I have to finish well today. So I'm sure you heard few bits that we've said. I don't know what your contribution is. Do you think marriage can be a bed of roses or not?
Life, they say, is not a bed of roses. So definitely marriage. It could be. It can be. But then it depends on how you lay your bed. That's the truth about it. Because sometimes we tend to wish, but we don't walk towards what we wish for. So it's that effort that most of us are really lacking in a marriage. And that's where the trouble comes in. Like our brother that talked about, oh, say please, please, please. Hello? You won't get that please, please, please. I know at least you've gotten to that stage where you understand yourselves, you play, you joke, and all that. But then I'm sure it was a bit of hard work to get to the level that you're in. So we really need to tolerate each other. Because, like you said, at the end of the day, the kids will leave the house. It's just the two of you.
Yeah.
So, whatever bed you're laying, if you want to put thongs on it, it's up to you. But like the story you gave about the dad doing that for the lady, one of my auntie did not get married because her dad treated her very well. So she's been looking for this kind of man that treats her like her father.
No, that's
I
a high
know.
standard to follow.
And she's in her 60s now, sometimes we tend to, would I say, we expect so much. And when you expect so much, you're not ready to lay down some things and say, okay,
To
let me get
compromise.
rid of this. But at the end of the day, you now fall back to, oh, I wish, had I known, had I known. So life can be a bed of roses. It can be, depending on how you lay your bed. That's my own take about it.
Thank you. High standard. Hey, should we now drop the
Yeah.
standard?
I was actually going to say that it's also important that when church fathers do such things, you should also let them. They should also tell the daughters that,
They
hey,
have to
when I was
balance
coming,
it.
yeah, that when I was coming up, I was not like this. So, in fact, if anything,
Oh my
I learned it from your
goodness.
mother. Because I've seen what she said. I've seen similar thing, and sometimes I have a friend where I told the friend, tell your daughter that, look, when you're coming up, you're not like this. So it was marriage that changed you. Tell them that you're once upon a time you used to, play or you're not serious. It's when you got married that you got serious. Like the way you treat your wife now, yes. But your wife taught you a lot of these things. So the balance is let them know that look, oh, when they're coming up, they didn't know everything. Because as I said before, if you saw me before I got married, you will not think this one. So we change. The men get better,
Yeah,
but
I know.
they're not perfect.
You've come, you've conquered, you just abandon.
The wife chisels you, make you look sharp, make you look nice, but it didn't start out that way. No, nobody starts out looking like that.
Okay,
So
Leslie, let me put you on the spot. When was the last time you opened the door for your wife to go in? Shine, admissions, all the men here. Kenneth.
when I do airport run, yeah, I open the door. Yeah, I think.
Okay. When you do airport
Okay,
run,
she's
for
here. She's here.
what's in the room? Oh, you see now.
Yeah.
Shine, let me ask you, Shine, too. When was the last time you opened the door for your wife? Shine, don't mute on me now.
No, no, I'm not. I'm not muting. I'm not muting on you. Every time we're going out, I open the door for my wife. I just don't open the house door. When we get downstairs and we are to step out of the house, I open the gate as well. I mean, it's part of my culture. I open the door anytime and every time.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
wow, okay. So let me swallow my words then. So at least somebody was able to. Kenneth.
I do it too. I must admit, even if I don't, she will jokingly ask me, "Do you know you have not done what?" Then I quickly go back and do it.
Can you imagine?
If for any
I
reason
have
I
to
did
remind you.
laugh, jokingly, she will ask me, you haven't done what?" Oh, well, okay, I know where
Okay,
you're
don't open
going,
it all the
and I
time.
go back and quickly do it. Yeah.
Okay, at least you do it when they request, so that's good. Well done. What good man here. Kenneth, what were you going to say?
Occasionally,
Okay.
not all the time. Maybe when we go out, when we use one car that can do that, but not always.
Not always. I love it. No, like we said, we're not perfect. At least we're making the effort somehow. So thank you to all our men here. It's good. I would have brought my, what is it called, married trivia questions. Let's put husband and wife on the spot, not me because I'm the host. So me, I'll pick a couple. Maybe one of these days we might plan to do that. Let's see how well we know our spouses, whether you just got married yesterday or 100 years ago. Let's see how well we know our spouses, and maybe you should start preparing your spouses for that, so that we don't put them on the spot. I mean, just for the fun of it, really. It just shows that you can't know them, or even if you get all the answers right, they will grow into something else tomorrow. You have to learn that, know that, be comfortable with that, and you move along. Sometimes we find it even harder when we feel, do you know the one that really bugs me sometimes, especially when I have clients and they say certain things? I remember this man, I think he was in his 40s and he was having issue. Fine, he admitted that he, shifted a bit, drifted out in the relationship a bit. And it's been 7 years, but he still feels punished by the wife, that he doesn't know how to get through to her anymore. They don't even, there was a whole lot going on there. And I'm like, okay, I want to understand your wife's background. And when he finished talking, I'm like, you're asking for something, she doesn't have it to give. But being the husband, you can actually help her understand where you want to be in that relationship. So why am I saying this? It's not a bed of roses. The person you married in fact, 5 years is too long. In 2 years' time, you find out that how come I'm seeing a new person? They're growing. Likewise, yourself, you're growing as well. And if you don't learn to understand, to compromise, to be tolerant, to be all of those things at that time, how can you build? Because if you say, I married this person, they'll be the same yesterday, today, forever. It's not possible. Oh, I'm just saying this. Let's have more open mind, especially when we see something new from our spouses. It doesn't mean it's time to toss them away. No, I didn't marry this person, toss them. No, you have to learn that person. That's why it's an institution where we learn, unlearn. relearn, and all of those learning processes. So I don't know, I think it's about perfect timing to end tonight. I appreciate every single one for your submission. Like we say, there's no right or wrong answer, but it's how we react to those bed of roses, how we want them to be in our marriages. We have to work towards it. We have to put in the effort. We have to put in the intentionality to it. Otherwise, we'll just think, and we don't do, nothing gets done. It's a learning curve. Yeah, indeed, admission it is. So let's have broader mindset. You don't know what your wife will bring tomorrow. You don't know what you yourself you even bring tomorrow. And that's why we need to have that broad mind to accommodate, to understand, to be empathetic, to be patient, to put in the effort and do all of those things. Marriage without work is it to be thorns. Let me put it that way. God will continue to help us. As many that are married, that are there, whatever challenges you're facing, my prayer is God will give you the right tool, to strategize so that you can enjoy your marriage some more. That is God's intention, for us to enjoy this. Imagine choosing this one person to do life with. Would I deal? Let me know. Anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say. Whatever you come rain, come shine. I'll bring umbrella. I will bring AC. The condition must be okay. Do you understand? I know God's intention for this. So whatever it is I need to do, Lord, help me to see so that I'll do. Help my spouse to see so that he will do. And together we'll do life together. Thank you all so much for your contributions. Admission, thank you. A13, my brother, thank you. He took that likes. He always takes it up for me. And of course, everybody do try their best. Leslie, thank you for submission. Hidden Gem, thank you for coming. I hope we'll see more of you. Susan, I know, probably eating by now. Thank you so much, sis, for the contribution as well. Kenneth, God bless you. Thank you. Shine, that still opens the door. God bless you for your contributions as well. Everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Honestly, God bless you for me. Let me go here. Grace, I see you. Let me see who else has been there. Treasure Woman, Dodo, I see you. Thank you so much for sticking by till now. Oh my goodness. God bless you. Thank you for being a part of this community. Well, guys, till I come again on Monday with topics that has to do with individuals, you and I remain yours truly, FunmiRoyal. Be good. And, let's go and maybe just kiss our wife for no reason tonight. Just a peck on the cheek or something out of the ordinary. Or give them a cup of tea if you haven't done it in a while. Something you haven't done in a while. Not too big, but just do it. And let's see how the weekend will come. Thank you all so much. Have a lovely, lovely night rest. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Enjoy the weekend as well. Thank you,
Good
guys.
night. Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you. Shine, thank you for stopping by today. Really appreciate you. I know. Debbie, Elder Debbie, thank you. Thank you, Hidden Gem. Hope to see you on Monday. Susan, thank you so much. Don't worry, we'll catch up soon. God bless you. Thank you all. Have a lovely night rest. Good night.